Ms. Hughes, you were a tenant in an apartment complex that was managed by the defendant. Correct. And it is your claim that he assaulted you. Yes. Mr. Farrar says that you was served with an eviction notice, and you, in fact, assaulted him and one of his employees. He is counterclaiming. How long had you been living in this complex?
I lived in that complex for approximately 2 years and about 4 months.
And who did you live with?
A roommate of mine.
When did Mr. Farrar come to work at the complex?
December 19th of 03. And the incident with Mr. Farrar and me happened on January 23rd of 04.
So describe the incident, please.
I was walking out of my apartment on January 23rd, and Mr. Farrar had a balled up piece of paper hit me in the back. I turned around, and I seen him along with one of his witnesses over there.
Which one?
Mrs. Farrar. Now, they said they're separated.
Who is Mrs. Farrar?
That's the first one there. Okay, and I turned around, and I said, "Did you throw that paper at me? You're so childish." And he followed me into the underground parking lot, antagonizing me, distorting me, saying a lot of different things to me. I can't wait till you get out of here. He started to say, I have a recorder in my pocket. I'm going to try to get you arrested, So I kind of rushed and got in my car. I was very afraid of this man. I couldn't even leave anywhere. I was so distraught. I went back into my house once I knew they were out of the underground parking lot.
So you were sitting in your car, and then you decided not to go out anymore, and you went back up to your apartment.
Yes, to go tell my roommate what happened.
Go ahead.
I went to go walk my dog. A lady out of the office came out and said, "Are you supposed to be walking your dog up front? What are you doing up here?" And 5 minutes later, out of nowhere, this gentleman came and placed me into this chokehold.
You mean he just came out of nowhere?
He came out of nowhere. I did not see him coming. That's the whole thing about it. I didn't have an opportunity to even touch him with my pinky if I wanted to.
Okay, so he came up from behind you.
He came up from
behind you and placed you in a chokehold.
Yes.
What happened next?
Ma'am, he had me so tight. I was in and out of consciousness. I remember being slammed onto the floor. I remember that woman right there, Mrs. Farrar, kicking my keys, kicking my shoes because my shoes fell off. And he's screaming penal codes, telling her to go call the police. She needs to get arrested for this or that and the other.
And what kind of documentation, Ms. Hughes?
I have the pictures with my assault bruises that I had. I went to the emergency room, and I have...
I'd like to see everything there.
Okay.
Gotcha. Now, you are not still living at the complex, is that right? When did you move?
3 days after that incident on 123.
Had you been previously served with an eviction notice?
Yes.
When?
November, the beginning of November.
November of 2003.
Yes.
Prior to beginning employment there, you were served with an eviction notice for what?
Payment due.
You had not paid rent.
Correct.
How long had you not paid rent?
It was 2 months, actually.
Any reason why you didn't pay rent?
Well, my roommate could not come up with her half. Her mother just died. She was going through a lot of financial problems, and I could not fork her half of the rent.
So you didn't pay anything?
No, they would not accept any partial payments, ma'am.
Well, you could have paid if in October you didn't pay your half. In November, you could have paid your half of November and your half of October. That would have been a whole month.
Yeah, that's true.
So you decided if your roommate couldn't pay anything, you weren't going to pay anything either. Is that right?
Basically.
Okay. All right, Mr. Farrar, let me hear your version of these events, sir.
Well, if she's right, we did go down into the garage, and I was with Norma.
Who's Norma?
Norma's my former wife and now an employee. We were married 20 years ago. And I already had an altercation with her about a week before that.
What kind of an altercation?
About 8 policemen were coming out of her apartment, and I went over to the apartment to find out what had happened. And she lit a cigarette. She said, "It's none of your business," and threw it in my face. And then her roommate pulled her back in and
That's
shut the
such a
door.
lie.
Don't speak. Don't
Pulled her back
speak.
in and shut the door. So I checked with some of the fellows in the police department to find out what had been going on in that apartment, and I found out numerous calls there, something like 41 calls in 2 years.
You have the
Yes, I
log of
do.
those calls?
I do have some.
What were the calls for, Miss Hughes?
Oh, I'd like to see him myself, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him myself the day that he's talking about.
No, I'm
the day
not
the police
talking
did
about-
come. My
There's your,
8-year-old daughter
there's your-
called the police
Listen
by
to me, Miss
accident.
Hughes. I didn't
But
ask you.
I like a lot of the 41 calls.
I didn't ask you about the day. I said I'm just asking you whether.
One of them involved weapons.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You wouldn't know the truth if it came up and bit you in the behind. You're not going to take advantage of the judicial system by seeking redress in the court for something that your bad behavior started.
And later today,
What is it that you did to your son when you found out that he stole this phone?
Whoop.
Did you ever steal anything before?
Yes, ma'am.
What?
Car.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Andrea Hughes claims she was assaulted by her former landlord, James Farrar. James says Andrea is looking for a free ride.
There are a lot of calls here to your apartment, madam.
You know, I personally have seen the police at my house twice.
Good. Okay, that's all. Would you please tell me what happened on January 23rd, 04, sir? You and your wife followed her down to the garage for any particular ex-wife, for any particular reason?
Yeah, I was going down there to look at some work being done on the elevators. We had the elevators remodeled. They were in bad shape. And her car was to the right. I was going to the left. She got in the car and she opened the trunk, or she got to the trunk area, opened the trunk, and started throwing stuff out of the garage area. And then, of course, there was a lot of bad, blistering language going on at the time in reference to my previous marriage with Norma. She got in her car and peeled out, went out the gate. And that's the last I saw of her. So I finished checking on the work, went back up to the office area.
Listen to me. I don't want you to say anything.
Wow.
I went back over to the other garage where the manager at that time, Stellar On, was were waiting for her to come. So Stellar pulls in, maybe 10 minutes after she left, not even that. So we left, went back to the office area, and there she was with the dog. And the dog was urinating on the planter at the time. She was smoking a cigarette and had the door open. At that day, she had a TRO dropped by Stellar On.
Who's Stellar On?
She was the existing manager at the time.
So the existing manager of the building had a restraining order against Miss Hughes?
Yes.
May I see a copy of it, please?
I don't have it because they dropped it because she
They
couldn't
dropped it
articulate.
twice.
But I do have 2 restraining orders on tenants.
They
of the
dropped it
building.
twice.
Yeah, see them, please.
Sure. These are people she assaulted during her tenancy there. These are still enforced, by the way. 2 of my witnesses that couldn't make it today.
I have temporary restraining orders issued. You were the defendant, Miss Hughes. The protected persons are somebody by the name of Sean and Adam.
We had parking issues there in underground parking.
Shh. I just asked you.
Yes, correct.
Go ahead, Mr. Farrar.
Anyways, I came back and she was talking to Stellar at the time at first, and Stellar told her to put her dog on a leash. And she said, with a cigarette right at Stellar, I don't have to do any damn thing I don't want to do. And I'm going to leave out the profanity the best I can. But it would have blistered the doggone walls of this room. It's that bad. So I asked her, please leave the area, go to your apartment. We had mothers and children.
Whatever. You told her to get out. And I wouldn't.
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
I
told
told
her
her
to
to
get
go
out.
back to her apartment and get out of it. So
Go ahead.
3 or 4 times. Finally, she said she wasn't going to leave. And I placed her under citizen arrest for 415 PC, which is disturbance of peace.
Okay.
I told Stellar to call the Torrance Police Department and have them roll.
And
At that point, I'm standing here, she's standing there, the office corner's here, Norma's here, and Stellar's looking around the corner. She tried to step around me going towards the direction of the 2 managers. I did what I instinctively been trained to do. I stood in her way. And when I did, her body went
They
into
didn't
me.
train you to put a chokehold on someone,
Miss Hughes,
sir.
Miss
Take them
Hughes,
to the ground.
Miss Hughes.
That's not what the police department
Miss
trains
Hughes.
you to do.
Do you see how quiet he was when you were speaking?
He was thinking of his lies very good.
Madam, you wouldn't know the truth if it came up and slapped you in the face. You got a bad temper, Miss Hughes. Everybody who has contact with you seems to have a problem with you, and you have no problem with anybody. You had no problem with the prior building managers. You have no problem with the tenants.
I know I had never had any problem.
And you had no problem paying your rent, and you had no problem living like a good tenant. You had no problem at all.
Me paying my rent doesn't have anything to do with me physically getting harmed, ma'am.
Well, yes, it does, ma'am. Yes, it does. There's a certain entitlement that one thinks that one has when you believe that you can take property, take things that don't belong to you without payment, like a place to live. I say, sue me. Go ahead. It's going to take you 3-4 months to get me out of this apartment. Meanwhile, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to make a big fat pain in the for myself, which is exactly what you did. Exactly. Because when you were telling me your side of the story, I was listening. I was perfectly prepared to listen to you and to say maybe this man overextended. Maybe this man who was a former police officer or a peace officer got a little carried away with himself. But I was watching you testify, and you wouldn't know the truth if it came up and bit you in the behind. And I want to tell you something. You're not going to take advantage of the judicial system by seeking redress in the court for something that your bad behavior started. So your lawsuit's dismissed. Now, I'm going to get to your counterclaim. But for the fact that she filed this lawsuit, would you be here today?
No.
Good. So let's say goodbye to each other. She's no longer a tenant. Is that right?
That's
Goodbye.
right.
Your case is dismissed. Your counterclaim is withdrawn. Thank you very much.
That's so great in your lives. We're so great. I was a very good tenant. He was the one that just came aboard. I'd been there for 2.5 years. If I wasn't a good tenant, I wouldn't have been there that long.
She actually had most of the building in fear. This is a 90-unit building.
There's no criminal charges against anyone that lived in that household. Rather, there was 100 of 911 phone calls.
She's being sentenced tomorrow morning for a felony, domestic violence, where she took a knife to her roommate.
That man assaulted me, and he knows he assaulted me. He knows he snuck up on me and assaulted me for no reason at all.
It's just a pity. The young woman her age can't control her rage and her anger. That tries to intimidate her way through life, and this is what she's been doing. And Judge Judy saw right through it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Thomas versus Green. Step forward.
Account manager Lizette Thomas is suing her nephew's uncle, customer service rep Antonio Green Sr., for a $1,700 cell phone bill. Lizette says Antonio's son stole her nephew's phone and gave it to a girl.
No, I'd like these two young men to come and stand next to their respective parents, guardians. This is your nephew.
Correct.
And you gave him a cell phone
Yes.
so that he could be in touch with you for emergencies.
Yes.
He lost it.
Correct.
And somehow Mr. Green's son found it. And according to you, Mr. Green's son gave it away.
Yes.
And whoever he gave it away to had a very big mouth. And you got a phone bill for how much?
$1,700.
$1,700. So you want Mr. Green to be responsible for that.
Yes.
Mr. Green says, I didn't use the cell phone. My son didn't use the cell phone. Why should he be responsible? Right?
Yes.
When did your aunt give you the cell phone?
Late July
And why did she give you the cell phone?
for emergencies.
How long did you have it?
About a month.
Until late August?
Yes.
And what happened to it?
I gave it to my coach. We went to a game, and I asked him to hold it, and I left it with him, and we all left.
So what did you do?
I called him and asked him, did he have it? He said yes. I asked him, could he hold it for me? He said yes.
Where did you go and get it from him?
I didn't.
Why not?
Because I thought if I told my parents, they gonna think I was irresponsible.
That doesn't make sense, what you just said to me. Could you get there by bus?
Yes.
So why didn't you run right over and get it?
I wasn't thinking that time.
Right. You weren't thinking. Now, what's your first name?
Antonio,
Antonio, how did you get this phone?
I found it in the coach bag and I gave it to this girl trying to impress her.
Just okay. Don't go through. We have to do this slowly because I have to get things step by step. You found it in the coach's bag when?
Around late August, around the 28th, during the 1st of September.
When you say you found it in the coach's bag, what were you doing in the coach's bag?
Just going in it, sneaking around.
So you stole the phone out of the bag.
Right.
And what did you do with it when you stole the phone out of the bag?
I gave it to this girl. At that time, was my girlfriend.
And what did you say to her?
I gave her the phone. They gave her the phone, told her she could use it.
So, Mr. Green,
Yes, ma'am.
see, this is something he didn't put in his answer, that he stole the phone.
Well, yes, I knew that he retrieved the phone,
Not retrieved.
stole the phone around November when I got the call from Miss Thomas.
Stole it.
Right.
So, what is it that you did to your son when you found out that he stole this phone?
Can I say on here?
Yes.
Whoop.
How old are you, Antonio?
16.
Do you go to school?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool.
Good.
Did you ever steal anything before?
Yes, ma'am.
What? How many?
2 of them.
And when you went to court, did your father go with you?
Yes, ma'am.
How many children do you have, Mr. Thomas?
2, ma'am.
How old are they?
He's 16 and my daughter's 15.
Did she give you any trouble?
No.
So what are you doing about Mr. Trouble?
Well, right now he's in rehabilitation programs in the city, doing counseling session, peer mentoring programs appointed by the court, urine drops and things like that.
He had a drug problem?
Yes, they said he did.
If they said he did, he probably did.
Of course, he denied that, but they said he did.
Well, he's right out here telling me everything that he did. That's a good thing, because he probably knows that I know anyway.
Right.
Right?
All right.
So you better get pretty busy, because you owe this lady $1,700.
Yes, ma'am.
You stole the phone, you gave it to somebody, and you lied to them and said, I got you this phone, you can use it. They used it, as you told them to. I mean, the fact that you couldn't get your behind out of your room to get on a bus and go pick up the phone doesn't make you a prince. Do you understand that?
Yes.
But, I mean, it's your stupidity, but he did it on purpose. He stole it. And then he gave it away, and he said, I bought your present, use it. And you shouldn't have to suffer for that. Mr. Green shouldn't have to suffer for that either. What Mr. Green has to do is he has to harness this boy and send him out there to collect cans, 5 cents a piece, if that's all he can do. Because somehow you got to impress upon him that when he does something wrong, the whole world can't suffer. He's got to suffer.
Right.
You have to suffer. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,700. That's all.
Let's step out.
Preschool teacher Kathy Izaghieri. Melissa claims Kathy poisoned her when she sprayed for termites.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 51 on the calendar in the matter of Beck versus Izaghieri. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Beck, are you still a tenant of the defendants?
No, Your Honor.
You moved out.
I still reside at that residence, but she has since sold the building, so she's no longer my landlord.
Okay. Your complaint is that while the defendant was your landlord, she caused you to become ill as a result of spraying pesticides in your apartment. And you want to be reimbursed for the nights that you had to stay out at a hotel and for thousands of dollars in pain and suffering. Now, when was this pesticide spraying incident?
April 1st of 2001.
And what were they spraying for?
Termites.
Had you seen termites?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you notified that they would be spraying?
Verbally, yes.
So what's the problem?
They had just treated my apartment 6 to 8 weeks before that, going through the exact same procedure, spraying the interior of my apartment, which is not the proper procedure, as I've got evidence to prove here. The proper procedure is actually to drill holes in the slabs of the flooring or in the walls so you can actually get to the wood or underneath, because they were subterranean termites. The termites lived in the ground.
All right.
That's where they lived, but they were spraying the interior of my apartment twice in a 2-month period.
All right, 6 to 8 weeks before the incident that caused you difficulty, they sprayed once. Is that right? They sprayed once. And you remained in the apartment.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And when were you notified that they were going to spray again?
A few days before they came and
So what
sprayed
happened?
on April 1st.
Fine. So what happened? You notified that they were going to come in again.
I was notified that they were going to come in again, and I told her verbally, under no circumstances do I wish for you to spray the interior of my apartment. If you're going to do it, please follow the proper procedures the way it was done a year ago. Drill the holes, get to the termites. I'm giving you access to my apartment so that you can get to the termites, not to spray the interior. There's no need. I'm still smelling the pesticides. I don't need to go through this again. I'm still getting migraines from the last time.
So what happened?
I went to work, came home, found out that she had hired the pesticide guy, and she was there, and he did spray the interior of my apartment, spilled it on my kitchen floor. It had been wiped up. I have cats. They had walked through it. I walked in, it was overwhelming, and I hadn't even gathered any materials because I was under the impression that she was going to respect my wishes and not spray the interior again, since that doesn't even take care of the termites anyway.
All right, now, since April 1st of '01, have you seen evidence of termites in your apartment?
They're back, yes.
They're back.
Yes.
When did they come back?
A month ago.
So it's been almost a year.
Yes, they come. This is their breeding season,
Right.
right about now. They come back. Seems to be the same time every year to come out and swarm so that they can mate and become termites. I'm learning way too much about termites.
Now, according to your complaint, the smell was overwhelming and you had to leave your apartment. Where did you go?
The Best Western hotel room. It's approximately about 3 or 4 blocks from my home.
Okay, and how many nights did you stay there?
2.
You have the receipts?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see them, please.
You stay over there.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I also needed to purchase HEPA filters to take the pesticide out of the air that I was breathing because I was getting so many migraines. That was suggested by my neurologist.
Why didn't you move?
I couldn't afford to. My rent is rent controlled, only $577 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And for Los Angeles, a good area, that's extremely good for a 1-bedroom.
So that's pretty good rent, even though the place has termites once a year, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so other than $185.26 that you had to pay in a hotel room because of this smell of pesticides, what do you think that the defendant is responsible for?
I think that she was negligent in hiring an unlicensed pesticide person to come in and spray the interior of my apartment. He is unlicensed, as I have also in that pile is evidence to prove that. An agricultural commission did a report on it. He is an unlicensed contractor, and he had been also previously written up in 1994 for doing the exact same thing, spraying without a license and also spraying with unrestricted materials. I have no idea what I was exposed to. I have no idea whether or not he followed. I know the procedures that he followed were incorrect.
How do you know he was unlicensed? Give me the tab on here.
Purple? I'm sorry, I color-coded it to make it a little easier for you to find.
Purple
and
what?
that would be purple A1.
What was the name of the person that you hired?
Frig. On the first page of that,
Don't interrupt. I'm not speaking to you now.
Sorry.
Okay. How many years did you own this building?
I was never actually the owner. My mother was the owner. My parents owned the building for approximately 25 years.
Did you manage the building?
The only time I managed it, if you could call it that, was at the very end. My mother was very ill and she was unable to handle Miss Beck's harassment and complaints. And so I was handling the building at that time for her.
This exterminator that you hired is not licensed.
At the time, I believed that he was. I asked him if he was bonded and licensed. He said yes.
Did you ask to see his credentials?
I asked what his license number was, and he gave me a number. He had been in the business for 45 years and had worked for my mother for 10. And when Miss Beck needed...
So is what you're telling me that this person was the same person who sprayed previously for you?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes.
Miss Beck, you said that the apartment had been sprayed previously. This Craig, he's the one who sprayed previously. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
How many times had he sprayed the apartment before?
I'm not really sure. He had been doing it
For years.
for years.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I
Listen to me.
trusted her, Your Honor, that
Oh,
it
well,
was okay to be in that. I stayed there
I want you to be smarter. I don't want you to trust anybody. I want you to trust your own instincts, madam.
And later today,
Your Honor, we had a deal. We had a deal. I was to.
Whose fault is that? You went back to work. That is not allowed. That's not allowed.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Melissa Beck says former landlord Kathy Izagiri poisoned her when she sprayed for termites.
Listen, Miss Beck, you don't make a big deal over things that aren't a big deal. Do you understand? You live in a rent-controlled building, which is a very old building. You live there because the rent is cheap, and that doesn't mean that you have to be subjected to things that are terrible. Your landlord can't do terrible things to you, but there are termites, and termites have to be eradicated. I don't think that the defendant did anything terrible to you. I certainly don't think it's worth thousands of dollars. I think that she has to compensate you for the 2 nights that you spent in a hotel because you were unable to use your apartment. I assume you paid your rent on time.
I have proof. Also showing what the proper procedures are.
I don't care.
When you're.
Listen to me. I don't care what the proper procedures are, madam. I'm telling you that the termites that you complain.
But you don't spray the baseboards of an apartment and let it just sit there for months. There's nowhere for it to go. It's been painted over since the 1950s.
Listen to me. Life is full of choices. The choice that you made to leave the apartment for 2 days because you couldn't stand the smell was a good choice. She has to compensate you for that choice because she was quiet. Because she was responsible, even if she used someone who had a degree from Harvard, you might have had a reaction from the pesticides that were used. However, your apartment was rendered through no fault of your own, uninhabitable for 2 nights. Now, if what you're saying, Miss Beck, is that it continues to be uninhabitable, or for months was uninhabitable, or for weeks, or for periods of time that you got headaches and migraines, etc., move. Nobody is holding you in this apartment. If you want to live in an inexpensive, rent-controlled building, which is old, there are some things that you have to tolerate. And I'm telling you, 2 nights lodging, she's responsible for. But thousands for your headache, she is not. Judgment for the placement.
I trusted her, Your Honor, that it was okay to be in that.
I want you to be smarter. I don't want you to trust anybody. I want you to trust your own instincts, madam. $185. 2 nights at the Best Western.
Interest and the year that she didn't pay me.
What about it?
It's
Deal with it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $185. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
We have a police report of an occasion when she attacked another tenant, overturned her furniture, and bit and scratched the other tenant.
I never bit anybody. I never scratched anybody.
There have been times when after midnight she's called my home screaming obscenities.
I did have problems with her with noise on one particular occasion, and she was outside.
I just hope that I never have to have another interaction with Melissa Beck again.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Andres versus Brazil. Step forward, please.
Brian Andres is suing his ex-fiancée, sales rep Trisha Brazil, for an unpaid loan for office equipment. Trisha is countersuing for the return of personal property, unpaid rent, and harassment.
All right, Mr. Andres, your lawsuit says that the defendant with whom you lived and you have a child with owes you money for a loan for office equipment that allowed her to work in the house.
Correct.
Equipment that you purchased, she used, when you separated, she took, and you want her to pay for it.
Correct.
The defendant says there was never a discussion of a loan for this office equipment. It was a way of her earning a living while you were together because you were incapacitated for a period of time. You were not working. She had to support both you and your son that you share. She has a counterclaim, which is a whole bunch of nonsense, and Miss Brazil, let me deal with it right now because I want to keep this case as clean as possible. You say that he took a camcorder of yours, that he owes you for rent during the time that he was incapacitated last year or the year before, that he said he would pay you for, and a chair. Okay? That's your counterclaim.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you that I think that's all a bunch of nonsense and you never would have filed a counterclaim had he not sued you for this office equipment.
That's true. I'm desired to be in court, then I would have never. But
Absolutely right.
But part of what he's suing me for is the camcorder part of the.
I'm not interested. So let's understand each other. This isn't a tit for tat. He has a lawsuit. I'm going to get to his lawsuit. And I'm not worried about your chair and your camcorder and this old rent bill that he was supposed to pay you if he ever got better.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Brian Andres says ex-fiancée Trisha Brazil owes for an unpaid loan for office equipment.
That was your arrangement. You were a family, despite the fact that you didn't have a marriage license. You were operating as a family. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And at a time when you were injured, you discussed with the woman you were living with, the mother of your child, working from home. Is that right? Now take it from there.
It wasn't so much her simply working from home. She was working for a company and decided that she could work from home, be close with the baby, and that's what we talked. That's how the whole story got started. I looked at it. I had a large amount of money coming in from my 401k, and I said, well, we could do this. Since I am on disability, I had a very bad broken leg. What I was going to be able to do work-wise was really in question. I did warehouse work, and I taught karate on the
You had a
side.
very bad broken leg, and you were
Exactly.
incapacitated. Right, and you had a baby home.
This wasn't simply an opportunity for her to work from home. The deal was she was going to work from home while I was on disability. She was going to teach me kind of tools of the trade so I can learn something new, so I'd have something to fall back on.
What kind of work were you doing?
I'm in marketing. I do graphic design work.
And you could do that on your computer at home?
Yes.
Okay, fine. When you broke your leg, is that right?
Correct.
Were you living together at the time?
Yes.
How long were you in the hospital?
Maybe 4 days, and I had to go to a rehabilitation hospital for another month.
And then you came home?
No.
And then where did you go?
I had to go to my mother's house. She has a 2-story home, and the bathrooms are upstairs. My mom's house was...
More convenient. So you stayed
Correct.
with your mom for how long?
Probably 2 to 3 months. And then I would go over to Trisha's house. I would stay the night with her. This is all when she was still pregnant with our child. And the day when she went to work, she would drop me off back at my mother's house so I could...
So she took care of you. You went over there, she picked you up, she took you back. Now, after the baby was born, where did you live?
After the baby was born, I lived with Trisha.
Moved into her house?
Correct.
Okay. Were you ambulatory at that point?
Yeah, with the crutch.
With crutches?
Crutch, eventually a cane, yeah.
Okay, with crutches. Now, the baby was born at that time.
In January, correct.
Who took care of the baby?
I
With your crutches?
Absolutely.
Oh, good. Good for you. Okay, so explain this loan to me. So now I've got office equipment that you was going to work from out of the house. How did the loan come about, Mr. Andres?
Our deal was she wanted to work from home. I was in a position where I can make that possible, and in return, I wanted to gain some type of knowledge from this. So that
So
it never happened. Time went on. She continued to use the equipment that I bought for her job that she was at. It never happened. In September, I ended up going back to work for a warehouse in our area. She kept working where she was at, eventually left, and became self-employed.
Well, I don't see a loan, sir.
I bought the stuff, Your Honor. I have the copy of the check.
So what?
That's the loan.
That's not a loan. That's not a loan, Mr. Andres. Where do you get a loan from that? You had a family. The family had to be supported. Needed, I gather, 2 people, your disability and her work to do it. He said, great, you work from the house. I'm going to buy this equipment so you can work from the house. You'll teach me. Period. End of discussion. It didn't become a loan until you separated.
Your Honor, we had a deal. We had a deal. I was to learn something.
And you didn't learn anything. Whose fault is that? You went back to work. That is not a loan, Mr. Andres. That's not a loan. That's living together and planning a future that doesn't work out. That's not a loan. I understand from Miss Brazil, whose counterclaim I'm not even thinking about. Do you understand that?
No.
Well, I'm going to tell you. During what year do you claim that he owes you for rent?
The year of 2000, and then he paid rent intermittently during 2000 and part of 2001.
Okay, it's old, that's why. Because 2 years later, you don't wake up and say he owes me for rent in 2000. Because I know and you know that your counterclaim is nonsense. That you would never be here but for the fact of this nonsense about this equipment. Now, what I want to know is, she says that you didn't even bring up the issue of this equipment again until after she took you to court for child support.
That is not true.
Now, one thing that amazed me, and I just want to find out whether I read it wrong. Are you currently under a child support order, Mr. Andres?
Yes, ma'am.
What is that order?
It's $38 a month.
That's what I read, $38 a month. What country do you live in?
The United States.
What state in this country?
California.
What county?
Stanislaus County.
What kind of work do you do?
Right now, I'm not working. That's why it's $38.
Jeannie Foster are suing the mother of Felix's child, 22-year-old customer service rep Shannon Dudley, for car payments and repair costs.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 457 on the calendar in the matter of Martinez Foster versus Dudley. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
You're Mr. Martinez?
Yes.
And this is your...
Mother.
According to your complaint, you co-signed a loan for a car for the defendant. She was your girlfriend at the time, and you have a child together.
Yes.
How old is your child?
2.
You broke up?
Yes.
She stopped making car payments. You repossessed the car, took the car back, made the car payments that she missed. You want Miss Dudley to be responsible for the missed car payments, as well as the cost of repairing the car to put it in a condition so that it could be sold. Miss Dudley says you weren't making child support payments. She fell terribly behind in her bills. She couldn't maintain the car. She spoke to your mother. Your mother agreed to take over the car. She turned the car over to you. That's it. Miss Dudley, I see you're pregnant. It's not his child. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you co-sign this loan?
Around November, I believe. 2002. 2001.
What kind of car is it?
98 Chrysler Concorde.
What kind of insurance do you have on the car?
I couldn't own or operate the car. I didn't keep insurance on it.
Who did?
Shannon.
What kind of insurance did you have on the car?
I had full coverage.
I ask you that question because you say that the car was in an accident and she hadn't had it fixed. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you have it fixed?
Because I didn't have the money for the $500 deductible to pay to fix it.
Okay. When did you separate from the defendant?
April of last year.
And you kept the car?
Yes.
When did you fall behind in the car payment?
I believe in June or July. It's supposed to be $375. I paid $150 and I couldn't, that's all I could afford because I had to pay for our son's daycare and everything.
Was that in June or July?
I believe I paid $150 in June, and then in July I didn't pay anything, and they took the car in August.
Is that correct?
Yes.
So she owed $375.
She owed $225 from June, $375 for July, and $375 for
I
August.
thought you took the car back.
I did take the car in August, but she didn't make the August payment.
But you had the car in August.
Yes.
So she doesn't make the August payment.
Okay.
So tell me about the conversation that you allegedly had with Miss Martinez about the car.
I told her I was behind and I couldn't afford to pay for it.
Did you tell her that by phone or in person?
I told her on the phone.
Miss Martinez, do you remember the conversation?
Yes, I do. She was going to let the car be repossessed back to the finance company, which would destroy everybody's credit. And I asked if she would give us the opportunity to take the car back so that we could try to get that straightened out so it didn't destroy their credit. They're so young, they just don't understand what happens if you do something like that.
Right. So she said, okay.
So she said, okay, and on August 6th, we took the car back.
Okay. Mr. Martinez, when you separated from each other in April,
Yes, Your Honor.
and she went to live with her mother, were you making child support payments?
No.
Why not?
Because we went to child support recovery and got the papers for her to fill out and for me to fill out so we can get child support rolling. And until that time, we were buying diapers and filling everything up.
What does that mean?
Just giving her stuff for my son until the child support went through.
Were you working?
Yes,
Then I don't understand why you weren't giving her money.
because it's just considered gifts.
You have a child. Child has to be supported, whether a court tells you or not.
I had him half the time, Your Honor.
Oh, you did?
Yes. I have
What half?
documentation. It's all documented right here. All the months that I had him half the time.
Let me see.
From April to August, I believe.
What's the child's name?
Felix or Phil.
Absolutely. It looks to me as if you did see him a substantial period of the time, probably half the time. Is that right?
Yeah, I wasn't going to keep him from his father, even if he wasn't.
No, we're talking about support here. I mean, your defense to letting your car payment go is because...
Well, I mean, I was paying for all the daycare and food and clothes, and...
You were paying for all the daycare?
Yeah.
Are you working?
Yes, I work full-time.
Yes.
My cousin works for the county, and we got her subsidized daycare.
So
it was cheaper for her.
Shh. Just a second. How much was it costing you?
When I fell behind on the car payment, I was paying $150 a week for full-time daycare.
Why weren't you paying half?
I don't know, Your Honor.
I don't know either. Why weren't you paying half?
Because my lawyer told me not to.
Well, that's your problem. That's your problem. Your lawyer told you not to? Fine. How do you expect her to pay $150 a week for child care, which is a lot of money, and also make a car payment of $375? Where were you living?
I was living on my own at the time.
So?
And then
How'd you expect her to do that?
I was paying all my bills that I have, and then getting caught back up on some debt I had from Dr. Bills previously, and then...
How did you expect her to do that, Miss Foster?
I'm not sure at what time she started receiving subsidized daycare, but when she was living at her foster mother's house, she wasn't paying rent. We provided all of her diapers.
I don't want to hear diapers. I'm talking about $150 a week, net money that she has to come up with in order to maintain her job. And he doesn't have to live on his own. Let him come home and live with you. If he has a child, he's got to support.
He is now.
That's good. That's what he has to do.
He never protested child support. He wanted to pay it all along, and he's never denied that he shouldn't. And from the time that she applied to the time that she was awarded child support, there wasn't an order established, so he didn't...
Doesn't have to have an order, madam. According to what your son tells me, he knew that this $150 a week child care was a very heavy burden on her. So you had a relative who was able to get that subsidized, so he knew about it.
Yes.
And my real question to you is, understanding that she fell behind at a time when she was trying to make ends meet and working full time, why would you sue her? Why? Go ahead.
Your Honor, I didn't. Shannon has a poor work history, so I don't know if she's working or what she's doing. If I gave her that money, how do I know where it's going to? So, I don't know.
Your Honor.
Shh. You don't have to give it to her. Say to her, Shannon, I'm going to pay half of the daycare. I will pay $75 a week, and you'll pay $75 a week. That eases your burden. Wouldn't that have been reasonable?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, did you take care of these bills for the car?
Half of them, Your Honor. I paid for the wreck, and then my mom paid for it to get caught back up so it wouldn't ruin her credit.
Well, that's $600. You paid for the wreck.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. So that part of your claim I'm dismissing, because you don't want that money from her, do you? I didn't think so. Question is your mother acting reasonably in suing Miss Dudley? I believe you are entitled to your $600 that you paid to catch up on the car payment. Now, do you see this grandchild frequently?
Not as frequently as we used to. The kids are still battling over that. There was a mediation that's going to be set up, and Shannon said that she liked the way that things were. She couldn't afford mediation, and that she wasn't going to change on what the visitation has been reduced to from what it was in the little diary to what it is now is.
What is it now, Shannon?
It's every other Tuesday. He stays overnight from Tuesday morning to Wednesday afternoon. And then the opposite week of that, he gets him from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on that Tuesday.
Is there any reason for cutting back on the schedule
every other weekend.
So dramatically?
They had talked me into it. Ever since I've left him, they both bullied me around about it.
What do you mean they bullied you around about it? Child has a father.
I know. I've never asked him not, I've never held him back and not let him see his father. But it just be a part of his life. The way that it was it was Tuesday until Thursday, and it seemed like every time he went, for a visit on the weekend and came home, he was leaving again, and I hardly ever got to see him.
You think he had him more of the time than you did?
It seemed like it, because I'm working full-time during the day. He works overnight, so he has his days free when he has them.
Now, if he has his days free, as opposed to your son being in daycare, why wouldn't you let him be with his father?
He does. He goes, instead of a standard visitation at Friday at 5 o'clock, he goes in the morning and doesn't go to daycare. He goes to daycare part-time now.
Okay, good. Who are you living with now?
My boyfriend.
What does he do for a living?
He's an electrician.
Does he act reasonably towards your son?
He treats him very, very well.
Good. Does he have children of his own?
No, he doesn't.
Fine. You owe Miss Foster $600.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
As far as the cost of repairing the car, you're going to deal with that. You want to take care of that, right?
Yep.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
His mother handles everything for him, as you can see.
I want to look out for the well-being of my son.
I think that's what ruined it.
She doesn't realize how important it is for a son to be involved in his child's life.
They're only out to get whatever they can get for themselves without any regard to Felix, to my grandson.
If I don't do what she says, she cuts my visitation.
Where he wants to spend his child support, have him pull up his sleeves and see all of his tattoos, what he pays, where he puts his money.
Tattoos, it doesn't cost me as much as they think.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Krieger versus Boyserang, step forward, please.
Medical assistant Peggy Krieger is suing former neighbor, pharmacy assistant Michelle Boyserang, and her son, 9-year-old Frank. Peggy says Frank scratched the hood of her car with sand.
Ms. Gregory, it is your claim that the defendant's son, I assume that this is the little boy you're talking about, along with another child, vandalized your car
Yes.
by rubbing some sand into the paint.
Yes.
When confronted, the other child's parent said that they would pay for half of the damage
Correct.
and did pay for half of the damage to the car. The defendant, however, says her son was not involved, didn't do it, and has not paid for half the damage. When did this happen to your car?
April 18th of
Where was your car parked?
in the parking stall at my apartment complex.
Are you and the defendant neighbors?
We were.
No longer?
No longer.
Who moved?
She did.
Did you witness this act of vandalism?
I did not. My daughter did.
Step up. Tell me your name.
Jessica?
Tell me what you saw on April 18th.
I was coming home from school and the two kids were playing in the sand out by the car. And I went inside.
Was it a sandbox or just sand on the ground?
There was a hole in the ground and there was some sand in it. And I went inside and my backpack was unzipped, so I thought I had dropped something. And I looked out our living room window to see if I had dropped anything, and I saw them rubbing sand on the car.
When you saw them, who were you referring to?
The little boy and the little girl that was involved.
Did you see them pick up the sand and rub it in, or did you just see them making rubbing motions? I want to try to visualize what it is that you saw.
I saw them doing this on the car, like rubbing their hands around, and I saw some sand falling off of the car.
Where? On what part of the car?
On the hood.
Must have been close to the front because, well, he's short. What about the little girl? Was she also little?
I think she's about as big as he is.
And you saw both of them do it?
Yes.
Did you go outside?
No, I told my mom, and she looked out the window, and then she went outside.
When you looked out the window, what did you see?
I saw them walking away.
Okay, so you didn't actually see what happened. Just your daughter did.
Yes.
And when you got to the car, what did you see?
I saw the hood of the car. It had sand all over it. I went back in the house and I got my camera and I took pictures.
Can I see the pictures? Were they both on the same side of the car?
No, they were on different sides.
Was he on the driver's side or the passenger side?
I think he was on the passenger side.
But they were making that rubbing motion from two different sides of the car. Was that what you saw?
Yes.
You're positive of that?
Yes.
Good. Step up here.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You want to know why it's better to tell the whole truth? Because then you don't have to remember the lie that you told. That's why guys are always getting themselves into trouble.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Peggy Krieger says former neighbor, 9-year-old Frank Boyserang, scratched the hood of her car with sand. Frank says she's blaming the wrong kid.
Oh, what's your first name?
Frank.
Frank. What's the name of the little girl you were with?
Mackenzie.
Are you a friend of Mackenzie's, or were you?
I was, but I'm not now.
Because you don't live in the same place anymore, is that right?
Right, and she doesn't either.
Okay. How old are you?
9, turning 10 on October 29th.
Are you a smart boy?
Mm-hmm.
Do you go to school every day?
Yeah.
Now, do you remember that day in April when you and Mackenzie were playing with the sand?
Yes.
I want you to describe that sand hole to me.
Okay, it was in the grass, and some of the grass was gone, and there was some sand in this hole, and so
Who found the sand in the hole first, you or Mackenzie?
Mackenzie.
And what did she say to you when she found the sand?
She said, "Hey Frank, look it, there's sand." So
And you came over.
and I came over to look at it, and so she picked it up and she started rubbing it all over the car. And so I went over there and I was wiping it off.
You're wiping it off. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Go down over there. Is that what you mean when you say in your answer that your son says he didn't do it?
No.
Had he ever told you that he was wiping it off before?
Yes, he did.
When did he tell you he was wiping off the sand?
He told me that Mackenzie had piled the sand up on top of the car, and he had asked her to stop, and she said no. He said he picked up some sand and threw it at her, and it landed on the car, and he wiped it off. That is what was said to me.
Well, it scratched the car, so you have to pay for half. Why don't you think you're responsible?
Well, Your Honor, because Peggy has never shown me the vehicle. She's never once contacted me.
Just when, did you ever try to make contact with the defendant?
Yes, I sent a certified letter that she signed for with a copy of the insurance estimate. And then a few weeks later, I sent her another note. And
Had you had difficulty with her, which is why you didn't contact her directly when this happened?
I could not find her. I couldn't locate her. And so I was instructed to call the deputy and have them contact her.
She wrote to you twice. Why didn't you contact her?
I gave my phone number to her. She never once ever came to me before any of this stuff. This was after I had given her my phone number, Your Honor. I went on the 1st of May to pay my rent, and Peggy was in there. And the landlord introduced us. And I went to her and I just said, hey, I'd like to see the vehicle. If my son did it, and you can prove to me that my son did it, I would be more than willing, to get together with you. And she said, okay. And I said, here's my phone number. She's never contacted me. The letter that was given here was put onto my door, and I was home. She never knocked on my door. She never said, hey, Michelle, can I talk to you or anything? And then I get this estimate to repair a car cover.
A what?
It says on here, a car cover. What do you need a car cover for? If it had a car cover on it, it wouldn't have gotten scratched.
they covered the car with a bag to repaint the hood.
Well, the whole deal is you're talking about $220 is your half. Your son damaged your car and he did it purposely. And he tells me he's not a stupid young man. He's a smart young man, so he knows he knew enough to know that what Mackenzie was doing was wrong, because even what he told you was that he told her to stop, but she wouldn't stop. So he took sand and he threw it on the car.
No, he said
He said he threw it at her. It landed on the car, and then he was brushing it off. Give me a break.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Now, Frank, why did you think what Mackenzie was doing was wrong? Did you think it would damage the car?
Yes, and
Yes, so that you were brushing the sand off? Didn't you think that would damage the car?
No, because I was doing it lightly.
He's a fibber, too. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $222. You have to tell the whole truth, you see. If you try to fudge it, you just look foolish. It would have been much better all around if you came inside and said to your mother, I did the wrong thing outside. I want to tell you about it. And when she confronted you, you told her the whole truth. You want to know why it's better to tell the whole truth? Because then you don't have to remember the lie that you told. That's why guys are always getting themselves into trouble. Tell the truth right up front. Look at me. Don't look at him. If you tell the truth right up front, it doesn't get complicated. You see? Right up front. Do you understand? Take responsibility. You'll grow up to be a much happier man. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Goodbye.
He's excused.
Larceta McIntosh is suing maintenance technician Alicia Sexton for assaulting her with a bottle. Alicia says Larceta was having an affair with her boyfriend. She is countersuing for vandalism to her car.
Yes, case number 98 on the calendar in the matter of McIntosh versus Sexton. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
A fight over a man. How stupid can you get? And where is this man that we were all fighting over?
Are you asking me, Judge?
Anybody who will answer my question.
Oh, he's incarcerated at the present time. He's not really the reason why we're here, though. He was irrelevant to this.
No, he's not irrelevant, but for the fact that each of you were related to him in some way by affection, you wouldn't be here. Is that right?
Oh, I don't know what she had going with him, but I know he respected me. So I don't know exactly what she had going with him.
All right, Miss McIntosh, it's your claim that Miss Sexton assaulted you.
Yes.
She assaulted you with a bottle. You were seriously injured. According to you, you wanted to pay for that. You were briefly involved with the defendant's boyfriend. You didn't know that he had a girlfriend, according to you.
Yes.
And anyway, somehow that escalated. You're going to tell me the story. Miss Sexton said that she acted in self-defense, that you picked up a bottle first to hit her. She got the bottle out of your hand, and so she popped you with the bottle. This was really a brawl. She says in her counterclaim that you damaged her car on 2 separate occasions, and that she wants you to pay for her legal fees that she spent in defending these assault charges. So that's your counterclaim.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you currently pregnant, Miss Sexton?
Yes, I am.
And the father of this child is the person who is currently incarcerated?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any other children with him?
No, ma'am.
Did you become pregnant after you found out that he was fooling around with an underage person?
Well, actually,
Just answer my question. That's either yes or no.
Well, yes.
Another testament to your good judgment. How old are you?
18.
How old are you, Miss Sexton?
I'm 27.
You have children?
No.
Okay, Miss McIntosh, let's hear it.
On August 18, 2002, I had my sister take me to a friend's house to retrieve a necklace I left over there.
What time?
It was like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Go ahead. I must be living in another culture.
So as I was inside of the residence,
What do you do for a living?
I'm a student.
What day of the week was August 18th?
A Sunday.
What do you do during the summer?
Nothing.
Why?
Because I'm a student. I go to school right now.
You were going to school in August of 2002?
School hasn't started yet.
So what were you doing?
Nothing.
Didn't you ever hear working?
Huh? Yes.
That's what most 17-year-olds do during the summer when they're not in school. That keeps them out of trouble, so that they're not out at 2 o'clock in the morning going to retrieve a necklace. You're her friend?
I'm her sister.
Sister. I won't even ask what you were doing, because you're older than 18?
Yes.
So you were on your way to retrieve a necklace, 2 o'clock in the morning from a friend's house. And what happened?
While I was inside of the residence, the defendant...
Inside of what residence?
My friend's house.
Who's your friend?
My boyfriend.
Oh, so that's the boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't a girlfriend's house you were going over to. Your sister was taking you over to your boyfriend's house to get a necklace that you had allegedly left there. Is that right?
Yes.
Who did he live with?
His mother.
Is she normal?
Yes.
What do you think some normal person would think of a young 17-year-old popping by at 2 o'clock in the morning?
She was asleep.
So what happened when you got there?
While I was inside of the residence, the defendant, Alicia Sexton.
Just a second. You were inside with the boyfriend.
Yes.
How long had you been there inside?
Like 3 minutes.
And where was your sister?
Outside in a car waiting for me.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Your Honor, that's not.
I don't want to hear
Okay.
it. So you're inside with the boyfriend at his mother's house at 2 o'clock in the morning. And
the defendant came in. Alicia Sexton walked in with my friend's little brother. She came in and she asked me what my name was. I replied, Sita, and she struck me upside the head with a bottle. I then fell. She got on top of me or whatever and started hitting me. My friend broke it up or whatever.
you're talking in terms of this boyfriend
Yes.
who's in jail.
Yes.
He broke it up.
Yes.
Go ahead.
As I ran outside, Alicia came after me. She had the bottle in her hand. She threw it at me, but it missed me. And then she got on top of me. When she slammed me, she got on top of me again. That's when my friend and my sister came over there and they broke the fight up. My sister didn't rush me to emergency. I had 11 stitches. I got cut 2 different spots, 8 up here and 3 down here. I have pictures.
Let me see. Okay. Let me hear your version of the events, Miss Sexton.
Actually, Judge, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. I was on my way over to pick my boyfriend up. We lived together. He was at his mother's house while I was at the casino.
What were you doing there?
I was gambling.
Now, you and this boyfriend lived together?
Yes, we lived at my home.
Who else lives there?
Just me and him.
How long have you been living there?
We've been living together for about 4 years now.
Go ahead.
This is actually a housing project where I was picking him up from. When I pulled up outside, I seen this young lady running the house. She wasn't already in the house. She was outside with a bunch of people. I was not even aware of this girl, who she was, didn't know what she looked like or anything. She ran in the house, at which time his little brother showed up, and I went in the house with him. Well, he was trying to push her out the back door at the time, my boyfriend. She wouldn't go. So I said, "Who are you?" And she said, "I'm Sita." And I said, "Oh, you came to my house and busted out my car windows," because she had already came to my house before on an incident prior to this and did damage to my vehicle.
How do you know that?
I have police reports with witnesses that seen her do it.
Well, you never filed any charges with regard to that.
I tried to file charges for the destruction of property in that case, ma'am. Yes, I did.
Do you have any witnesses here that saw her do it?
No, but it's in the police report.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You broke out my car windows, and she said, "Yeah, I did, and what you gonna do about it?"
So you showed her what you were going to do about it. So you
we were fighting each other. I don't know if I landed the first punch or she did.
Miss Sexton, you know everything else.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Marcita McIntosh claims she and Alicia Sexton had a physical brawl over a man. Marcita says Alicia hit her in the face with a bottle.
So at the time you saw her and she told you her name,
Right.
according to you, then you knew who she was.
Then I knew who she was.
You had never called her before.
No.
Because she says you called her house.
No, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I called her mother prior to that.
Well, that's what I want to know. You called her mother.
But not her.
What? Don't play with me.
Right. I called her mother.
What did you say to her mother?
I asked her mother, was she aware that her daughter had called me and told me she was having intimate relations with my grown boyfriend that was of age, and he shouldn't be having intimate relations with her, and that if he
So
was...
she called you?
She called my house first to tell me of this relationship she was having with him. And so at the time, I was trying to get this resolved because she was underage and I'm grown. And so the mother said that, no, her daughter was just lying, and her daughter told me this, that her daughter was just trying to make me mad.
When did her daughter tell you this?
She had to be about 15, maybe 16 then.
So you did speak to her on the phone?
Yeah, she called my home. I didn't call her house.
So then she called you and you spoke to her?
Yeah, and then I, in return, called her mother to see what was going on. And so when I did call her mother said she was just trying to make me jealous. I told her mother that her daughter told me that she was having relations with him and that he was too old to have relations with her, and if that was really the deal, that I wanted to know.
Okay. The boyfriend is trying to push her out the back door because you're coming in the front door, and what happened?
Like I said, I was coming to where they were standing. She was standing right behind him. I asked her, who was she? I wasn't even aware of who this girl was at that time.
Well, what did you say to her?
I said, you came to my house and busted out my car windows. And she said, real cocky or whatever. And she said, I'm Sita. And I said, oh, and we started a physical confrontation at that point.
So before you asked who she was, you said to her, you came to my house and broke out my car window.
Right.
So you knew who she was.
No,
Miss Sexton, that's what you just said.
I didn't know who she was by her looks. I just figured that was her because she made her presence apparent when I pulled up.
Listen to me. You just said to me that when you walked into their house, you said to her, you broke out my car windows.
After she said that she was Sita.
No, that's not what you just told me.
That's what I meant to say. That's how it went.
You knew who she was.
Well, I kind of had an idea when she made herself present.
Let's not play with each other.
But I didn't know
I don't
who
have
she
time.
was.
I'm speaking. Don't try to talk over me.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And so at that time, we started a physical confrontation.
Look at my eyes. What do you mean at that time we started a physical confrontation?
We started fighting.
Somebody always starts fighting first. So give me a step-by-step of what happened.
I asked her, like I said, who she was. She told me who she was. And at that time, I said, you came to my house and you broke out my car windows. And she said, yeah, I did. And what you gonna do about it?
And
so we started fighting.
So you showed her what you were going to do about it.
We fell on a coffee table and the coffee table.
So you hit her. So you hit her.
We were fighting each other. I don't know if I landed the first punch or she did.
Miss Sexton, you know everything else. You know what you said. You know what the boyfriend said. You know about little brothers. You know everything else. But you can't tell me who hit who first.
Well, we started fighting at that point.
Okay, well, if you don't know who hit who first, did she hit you first?
She hit me with the bottle.
Well, since you don't remember, babe.
I didn't hit her with the bottle.
Listen to me. Since you don't remember, I have to assume that she remembers. If you just said to me, I don't remember, then I conclude that you hit her first. Because if you don't remember, And one person says, I remember, and logically, it makes sense to me that
Well, she
you
said
would hit
that I
her.
hit her with the bottle, and I did not.
Well, I don't care what you hit her with. You
We
it's
fell
a
on the
perfect
coffee
thing to
table,
do
a
that.
glass coffee table, and broke it, Your Honor.
Well, let me tell you something, madam. If the fight started because you hit her first, and in self-defense she reacted, you are still liable. And I have no idea why the police dismissed these charges against you.
They never even came and spoke to me.
Well, that's some police department. You are responsible for her injuries. Since you don't remember, and she does, you're responsible. You had hospital bills? Well, in what amount?
My hospital bills came up to, like $730. And was there an insurance deductible?
I don't care whether there was or whether there wasn't.
Medicaid.
She's suing. I'm speaking.
And that's for why the case was dismissed.
Can I see it, please?
I think the hospital bill on back of the police report.
Oh, it was dismissed on a speedy trial motion. Is that right?
Yep.
So the DA didn't move fast enough.
Yes, that's correct. That was the only reason.
They must be very busy in Douglas County, Nebraska. You're suing her for $2,000 for both the medical bills and your pain and suffering. You are entitled to that. So on your complaint, I am going to award you $2,000. Ms. Sexton, you have a counterclaim. Your counterclaim states that she damaged your car. You have proof of that?
In the police reports, the police spoke to the witnesses.
And that's the only proof that you have?
Well, and then I seen her actually bust my window out at one time.
I don't believe that, because if you had seen her busting out your car window, then you would have put that in your answer and in your counterclaim. You chose not to do that, and even the person who you brought with you was shaking her head no. Isn't that right? Isn't that right?
No, it's incorrect.
Oh, yeah, she saw her bust out her window?
Yes, I did.
Oh, how come it's not in the answer that you put here, madam?
Caused damages to my vehicle on 817 and 713. It is in there. She caused damages.
No.
I've
You
seen
didn't tell me that you observed it.
If I may.
Step up. Who are you?
I'm her mother.
Did you observe her? Did you
I
make...
did not observe her. She has a protection order against me, and I have one against them also. The first time that her windows got broken out at her home, she called me at 5:30 in the morning. I went up there. I looked at her caller ID. She said that the girl had been harassing her all night.
There's no question in my mind that this 17-year-old girl
got infatuated.
Be quiet.
Yeah, your judgment's not terrific, Miss Sexton. Your mother can attest to that, isn't that right?
On some things, yes.
There's no question in my mind that this 17-year-old girl was strung along by this person currently incarcerated, soon to be a father. There's no question that she acted inappropriately for a 17-year-old or for a 27-year-old or for a 15-year-old. Your daughter is supposed to be older and smarter.
And I called her parents, the 17-year-old's parents, at that time. Spoke to the father first. The father told me that she was out of control, that yes, she was out all night, that they didn't know where she was, that that's the type, that that's what's the car.
She's out of control.
She was
Right.
supposed to be on a curfew at the time, ma'am.
Put yourself down.
Well, anyway, I asked them, I said, well, can you do something with her? She can't keep coming up here, calling here, breaking out windows, causing all this damage. Something's going to happen, and one of them are going to end up getting hurt eventually. Later that day, her mother called my house, told me that I was going to bury my daughter with my other dead daughter. And I said, if anything happens to my daughter, your daughter's the one coming up here. So
What does this have to do with car
It
windows?
just kept going back and forth.
Listen to me. What does this have to do with car windows?
The damage is
she was
excessive, and
coming
it
to my
kept
home.
doing it, and she kept coming to her home. My daughter never went to her home, never called her, anything.
Listen to me. In all probability, she did it. Just give me proof.
Well, the only proof I have is the witnesses that are in the police reports, ma'am.
I can't use that, madam.
Well, I did ask if I could bring notarized statements or anything. They said no. Right.
So, you can bring witnesses.
Well, these are older people that own businesses that couldn't come.
And I can't help you.
And then at the housing project that night,
I
the mother
actually
of the
did
defendant
see
told
her.
her, do not break out her windows, because they were threatening to, and she saw her break it out.
Tell me what you saw.
I'm going to tell you what exactly happened. We had a confrontation in the house. At that time, we went outside, and she didn't rush to no hospital. We went outside and fought 3 more times before she left.
Yes.
To tell you the truth. She didn't rush to no hospital.
Keep going.
The first time that they broke it up, she went outside and she was all mad and everything. So at that time, she was outside. She busted my window out with a baseball bat.
just don't give me a long explanation. I want you to look through the police report and you tell me if anywhere in the police report you told the police that you saw her with your eyes break out your car window. Take a moment and look through the police report. And let your mother help you. Put your hand down. I'm not interested in you.
I know what the police report says.
No.
I didn't know. In the police report, no, I didn't. The police never showed up that night. They never came. That's why I was unable to tell them that.
In any place in the police report from the next day, 2 days later, 3 days later, because they add on to police reports, you know, when you make additional reports, any place does it say that you told the police that you saw her break out your car window?
No, it doesn't.
Sorry, can't help you. Miss McIntosh, reluctantly, I am awarding you what you are requesting, which is $2,000 because you were in fact assaulted by Miss Sexton, and I believe that she threw the first punch. But I think that you probably were out of control, smitten with a loser who happens now to belong, at least temporarily, to Miss Sexton when he gets finished belonging to the state of Nebraska. Is your last name Sexton? No. What is your last name? Buckley. Miss Buckley. Your daughter has made some serious errors in judgment. And I would hope that now that she's going to have a child, you try to inculcate into her some responsibility.
That was his judgment.
No, it was your judgment, Miss Sexton. It was your judgment to get yourself hooked up with and get pregnant by somebody
that respected me, that I didn't know anything about disrespecting me.
Oh, save me. Kurt, get him outside.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I just think that it's very sad when a young girl gets infected.
Is suing her former friend, 24-year-old ironworker Michael Rosenquist, for wrecking her car and then giving false information. Jennifer says his actions got her in trouble with the police.
Yeah, this is case number 177 on the calendar in the matter of Klein versus Rosenquist. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats.
All right, the basic of this case has to do with the fact that Miss Klein says, Mr. Rosenquist, that you were driving her car. She was in the car with you at the time you were driving the car, and you hit another car. And then Miss Klein says that when you got out of the car, the driver of the other car and you supposedly exchanged information, or you gave the owner of that car your information.
That's correct.
Which Miss Klein says was false. As a result of that, she was hauled in by the police because the car is registered in her name and the owner had the license plate, and she got into some serious difficulty. So she's suing you for a whole bunch of things, including fixing her car, the other man's car, because she was originally going to be tried with hit and run. Is that right?
Yeah.
And your defense to the case is, if she didn't like the way I handle it, she should have taken care of it herself.
Well, if you're a driver, you know, you should, depending on what happened, you know, no matter what happened, I feel that she should
Just
give...
a second, I got a feeling this is going to be one of those slippery things where he's thinking as he's talking. So we're going to get a real kick out of this. Okay? So let's pay attention. This is going to be like Comedy Central. All right, Mr. Rosenquist, let's start again.
Basically, I just feel that she should have had to give her information too, you know, just to follow through, you know, with the information that I gave.
So what you're saying is that, are you chewing gum?
Yes, ma'am.
So basically, Mr. Rosenquist, what you're saying is if she didn't like the way I handled it, she should have handled it herself.
Yes.
You're a fast learner. First of all, let's go back. Why was he driving your car? Look at me. Don't smile. Don't smile and don't give me a lot of baloney. Why was he driving your car?
Because he insisted on it and he was checking to see if I had a noise in my car and he was driving it to see what was wrong.
Was he a mechanic?
Yes.
Was he your mechanic?
No, he was a friend. That was a mechanic.
He was a friend of yours. Was he a date? Had you gone out with him?
We're just friends, good friends.
And on what day was he driving your car?
I believe it was July 17th, 2002.
And how long had he been driving your car?
Probably 2 minutes.
Where did this accident happen?
He was taking a right into an apartment complex.
Why was he going into an apartment complex?
Because that's where his friend was at, but he wanted to go see if he was home. He takes a right, and the music was up kind of loud. I have a loud stereo. So he turned into the apartment complex, hit the other car, and the guy got out of his car, stopped us, and he got out of the car, started talking to the other guy. By the time I got out, he said that he had given him his information and that everything was going to be taken care of, that he was going to pay for all damages and for me not to worry about it. And so I calmed down and we went back to his house and I examined my bumper, which it had been scratched and ripped away a little bit. And he kept on assuring me everything was going to be taken care of.
What was the next thing that happened, Miss Klein?
A week later, he was talking to me and I asked him if the guy had ever called him. He said no, he must have, not really cared, not a lot of damage. And the next day, I get a phone call from my parents saying that the police called saying that I had been in a hit and run and I needed to call Sherwood Police Department and work it out with them. So I called them. They told me that someone in the accident gave false information to the other driver, and so it's a hit and run, and since it's underneath my name, I'm the one responsible.
So what did you do?
I went to the police station, talked to them, and then they told me that they would put a warrant out for my arrest and arrest me if I did not bring him in. So I went and got him, and I brought him in.
What did you tell the police?
I told the police my version of the story.
Which was?
When we pulled into the parking lot, the stereo was loud, and I didn't even feel anything. It was kind of dead serious. Did not feel anything at all. I don't know if it was because the subs were going or what, but pulled in the parking lot. Next thing you know, I've got this gentleman standing next to the window. I couldn't even really understand him very well, but I could smell liquor. We were at the river all day, and I actually was drinking too. And he was a little bit belligerent. I felt a little bit threatened, hence the false information that I gave.
So you gave false information?
The only false information that I did give was not my last name.
Well, what last name did you give him?
My mother's maiden name.
So you gave him misinformation?
Still, he got a hold of me.
You gave misinformation?
So be it. I didn't want a drunk person showing up at my house, endangering my family or myself, or anybody else for that matter.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jennifer Klein says former friend Michael Rosenquist owes for wrecking her car and then giving false information.
What do you do for a living?
Iron worker.
How old are you?
24.
Do you go to church? I asked you a question.
Religiously?
Ever?
No. Yes, I do.
Do you know the name of a minister?
Do I? A few, yeah.
What?
I know a few chaplains.
Just a second.
Sorry.
I'm way ahead of you. So if you were concerned that this belligerent drunk would contact you or go to your home, you say, listen, I don't know who you are, sir. So I'm going to give you the name of my minister. This is my name. And you can get in touch with me through my minister, and I will contact my minister, and we can make arrangements for me to fix your property through that. There are all kinds of ways to do it if you want to be honest. If you want to be dishonest and slick, you do what you did, which is give him misinformation so that he can't track you down. The only problem is he has her license plate number.
That's correct.
So she got in trouble. What did you do about it when you found out she got in trouble? What did you do?
I went down to the police station.
Did you take care of her car? The answer is either yes or no. Did you take care of the man's car?
Nope.
Why not?
That's what we're deciding here today.
We're not deciding anything. You already told her that you would take care of everything. You said, don't worry, I'll take care of everything. I gave him my information, I'll take care of it. That's what you told her. So you lied to her. Isn't that right?
Yes.
That means you're a liar. You also lied to me because you filled out this answer, which I read very carefully, which didn't say at all that you gave him misinformation. It says, He made it very tense, so I gave him my work address as a means of contacting me. So you gave me your work address, but with the wrong name.
Wrong last name.
Wrong name. What's your first name?
Michael.
Okay, let's see this. Bird, how many Michaels do you know? Just think. How many Michaels do you know? Do you know more than 2 Michaels?
I know more than 10 Michaels.
What's your name?
Jeff DeMont.
Jeff! How many Michaels do you know?
More than 5.
What's your name?
Josh.
Better not be Michael. You know a couple of Michaels, Josh?
I know about 3.
We're not talking about a very, very odd name. We're talking about Michael. Michael. Right? And you work as an iron worker?
That's correct.
And how many people work in your plant?
My plant?
Where you work?
Where do I work?
Where you work. The plant where you work. Unless you do iron work in your backyard.
I build power plants and water treatment facilities.
So you must work with a lot of people.
Of course I do.
Any Michaels?
More than a few.
So let's not play with each other, Mr. Rosenquist. Miss Klein, I'm finished with playing with Mr. Rosenquist. He is a loser, and a dishonest one at that. So would you kindly tell me what your damages were?
First, I have a $75 ticket I had to pay because they gave me a ticket for failure to report an accident. Then I have an estimate of my insurance with my parents compared to one on my own now.
What do you mean?
Well, because of this whole entire situation, I was underneath my parents' insurance, and the accident was for the other guy's car was paid from my insurance company, and plus this extra ticket on my insurance too. So my insurance went through the roof.
He's not going to compensate you for that. You want to know why? Don't let somebody else drive your car. And if somebody is driving your car and turns up the blasters up so that you can't hear yourself think and you can't hear yourself have an accident, then that's your problem.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And today,
Where is your engagement ring?
It's home.
So you still have it?
Yeah, she wouldn't give it back.
Why didn't you give him back the engagement ring?
Because I figured he owed me more than that with his wedding. You stood me up.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jennifer Klein says former friend Michael Rosenquist owes for wrecking her car and then giving false information.
You want to know something else? I'm adding on the $75 ticket, $500, because that's what I think your afternoon of having agita was worth when you had to go down to the police station after the parents being called and told that you were being charged with hit and run unless you went down there because he lied.
Okay, thank you.
And that's what I think it's worth, other than taking care of the other person's car. Now, did you do that, or did the insurance company do that?
Excuse me, can you repeat that?
Did your insurance company cover the other man's damage, or did you?
No, the insurance company did, and that's the reason why.
What about the damage to your car?
I only have liability, so it didn't cover my car.
Is it a scratched bumper that you had fixed or that you didn't have fixed?
I haven't been able to get it fixed because my insurance has been so expensive. I haven't had a car for 10 months.
You haven't had a car?
Well, I've had the car, but I haven't been able to drive it. I haven't been able to afford it being a college student. But I got an estimate, which is $586.50.
To fix the bumper?
Yes.
So he's going to pay you $75 for the ticket and $500 for either your aggravation or the bumper. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes.
$575, judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think it went well. I'm happy that I got something, at least.
She knows that I was drinking all day long at the rivers. I mean, she was right there with me.
He continuously told me that once he got a job, he was going to reimburse me, and I never saw him or the money after that.
Lost a pretty good friendship over it, and, it's taking a lot of time out of me.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Graves versus Garden. Step forward, please.
Homemaker Angelina Graves is suing her ex-fiancé, nurse's assistant Johnny Darden, for the cost of wedding expenses. Angelina says Johnny left her standing at the altar.
Mr. Darden, you don't mind if I start with you, do you?
Go ahead.
Because we're going to, for a brief moment, put the law on a shelf. And let's talk reality and common sense. Okay? According to what I've read, your complaint and your answer, the two of you have been together some 13 years.
Off and on.
And you have a child together.
Son.
Who is how old?
7.
Is that your only child?
Yes.
And is that your only child?
No.
How many children do you have?
I have a daughter, 20.
And the two of you finally decided to make legitimate a relationship that had gone on and off for 13 years and planning a wedding. And Mr. Darden, it seems that the day of the wedding or the day before the wedding, you decided it was a big mistake and you took off.
Yes.
Leaving Miss Graves with the guests, the wedding, the plans, the out-of-town visitors, the caterer, the gown, the wine, the flowers, the everything. You just couldn't deal with it. You couldn't face her and you took off. Right?
Yes.
And Miss Graves says she wants wedding expenses paid by you because you took off, and what she's requesting is relatively modest at $1,600. And your defense to that was, your legal defense is, we never had an agreement that I would reimburse her for the money that she laid out for the wedding.
Yes.
What's your son's name, Mr. Darden?
Quayon.
And who does Quayon live with?
His mother.
Do you love him?
Yes, I do.
Do you see him?
Yes.
How often do you see him?
Now, about once a week.
And is he a happy child?
Yes, he is.
You love him to death?
Yes, ma'am.
He lives with his mother. So I assume if you're an intelligent man, and you appear to be an intelligent man, that you want the person who's caring for your most cherished possession, which is your son, to be happy.
Yes, I do.
Of course, you understand that you made her very unhappy when you left her with all this.
Yes.
When you left her at the altar, having to have to deal with the whole wedding, and you took off.
Yes.
And what it's going to cost, and I'm not even getting into her bills, what it's going to cost is $1,600 for her to be happy. And if she's happy, Quayon is happy. And if she's unhappy, it's not that she will make him unhappy, it's just that that sort of feeds into a family.
It does.
Are we following each other, Mr. Darden?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you giving Miss Graves support for Quayon?
Yes.
How much do you pay her?
$42 a week.
You think that's enough?
No, I don't.
It is. Miss Graves, how much was the entire amount that you laid out?
It was about 21.
And Mr. Darden, your answer says that you also spent about $1,000 in wedding expenses. What did you buy?
I didn't buy anything. I gave her the money.
Did he?
He gave me $300.
$300.
No,
I'm sorry.
He gave you $300. So
Yes.
he spent. Let's deal with what she has. Did he buy rings?
He bought my ring. Yeah, he bought my engagement ring.
Where is your engagement ring?
It's home.
So you still have it?
Yes.
Yeah, she wouldn't give it back.
Do you want it back?
Yes, I asked for it back.
Why didn't you give him back the engagement ring?
Because I figured he owed me more than that with his wedding. You stood me up. But he can have the ring. I don't want it.
Fine.
He can.
So we can have it back.
Yes.
I mean, I don't have a counterclaim, but as long as you agree, then you can have the ring back. Okay? So let's say, in addition to that money, you gave her $300, which means that $2,400 was spent on the entire wedding, including your wedding dress.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Was it custom-made wedding dress?
No, it's bought like that.
How much did you spend for it?
I paid $800 for the gown.
So if you spent $800 for the gown and it was never worn,
No.
you could probably sell it for $400, at least. That's half. So I'm taking $400 off the $2,400, leaving $2,000. Now, Mr. Darden, what's going to make Miss Graves happy is not what she's suing for, but you're going to get your ring back that you can sell. What's going to make her happy is $1,000, which is half of $2,000, because I believe that each of you will be responsible for the expenses of the wedding, even though you got cold feet. It's better to get cold feet before than afterwards. So how do you feel about that, Mr. Darden? You think that's fair?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't feel I should have to pay. Because I gave her more than $300 on this wedding.
How much did you give
Like,
her?
I don't have receipts and because I didn't ask for it.
How much did you give her?
At least $1,000.
For what? Tell me for
I
what?
don't know what for. She just said she needed money, and I gave it to her. I didn't ask what she was spending it on. I didn't ask for a receipt because I never thought this would come up.
Mr. Darden, the embarrassment alone is worth $1,000, sir.
You're right.
And the fact that your son lives with his mother and she's unhappy is worth that.
Yeah.
And the fact that somebody made an order for $42 a week support for your only child which means you get really cheap. Wouldn't happen in my court, I'll tell you that right now. Should make the $1,000 to you a bargain. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. Thank you.
Excuse me.
Said he got tired of arguing or whatever, and he just couldn't deal with it. He called that Friday.
Girlfriend, 21-year-old Michelle Hamlin, for breaking a lease and an unpaid loan. Michelle says Eric abused her and her children.
Yeah, it's case number 184 on the calendar in the matter of Enum versus Hamlin.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
How old are you, Mr. Enum?
18.
And you?
21.
You have 2 children.
Yes, ma'am.
How old are they?
1 and 3. I mean 4.
And Mr. Enum is not the father of either of those children.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Enum,
Yes, ma'am.
according to the complaint that you filed in this case, you met the defendant and subsequently decided to lease a house with her. Both of you signed your names to the lease. She moved in, subsequently moved out with her 2 children. You and her responsible for her half of the rent for the duration of the lease.
Correct.
Ms. Hamlin says that you are a violent, vicious person, that you abused her and her children.
That is a lie, Your Honor.
Shh, just a minute. And she is counterclaiming. That's what the case is about. All right. When did you sign this lease?
January 18, 2005.
And when did she move out?
May 28, 2005.
Tell me the circumstances surrounding her moving out.
She moved out in April.
Why did she move out? You don't know. Why did you move out?
I moved out because he was abusive to me and my children. He would hit my daughter, spank her when she would cry, give her bruises. He would hit my son when he would do something wrong. He just really abused me, and that's why I moved out. So
I didn't ask you for any
Yes, ma'am.
information, sir. Are you still living in the house?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Do you plan on staying in the house?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a new roommate?
No, ma'am.
Plan on getting one?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
I don't want to go through the same thing again.
So you can afford the rent yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you get any child support for your children?
I do, Your Honor, but I do not receive it.
You mean there's an order for child support?
Yes, but I do not receive it.
Why not?
The dad's not working, and he's just not responsible.
Do you get any other assistance for your children?
Nope. Just me working, that's it.
Did the children visit your family?
Yes, they do.
You know her family, I assume. Are you related to her?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
How are you related to her?
I reside with Michelle's mother. We've been together for 7 years, and I can testify of an harassment at Michelle's place of employment on one occasion.
What's your name?
My name is Jeffrey Bell, Your Honor.
Mr. Bell, do you remember the date of the alleged harassment?
It was shortly after Eric damaged
Give me a month.
May 2005. Sorry about that.
And tell me what you observed in May of 2005.
I witnessed Eric and 2 young ladies at Michelle's restaurant. After they had their meal, I watched Eric have his arm around this young lady. I considered it taunting Michelle at work. After they were close to the door, the 2 young ladies started arguing with the hostess and manager, stating that poor service, they want the manager's telephone number. I got up from my seat. I approached Eric right at the door.
Mr. Bell, don't talk to him.
Yes, ma'am. And I did walk up to him and told Eric that I'm sure that you have some things to work out with Michelle, but please be cool. I shook his hand like a gentleman, and the next thing we know, the car's being vandalized. And if I knew that those children were abused...
Just a second, Mr. Bell.
Yes, ma'am.
If you knew that the children were abused, what would you do?
I would have wrung his neck.
What about her?
I would have taken care of her, too.
What about her, Mr. Bell? She's the mother. I read.
I love her.
Just a second.
Yes,
you may love her.
Yes.
But I read her complaint, and I'm not so interested in this half rent that Mr. Enman wants her to pay.
Yes, ma'am.
Because right now he's living in the house, and if he wants to get a roommate, he can do it. He told me a moment ago he has no interest in doing that because he can afford the rent.
Yes, sir.
So he's going to stay there. So I'm not so interested in his complaint. I'm interested in her answer and her counterclaim. So I think that if you're going to be mad at somebody, if you believe any of this was going on,
Yes.
and I'm not so sure.
Okay. May I explain just one more
No,
point,
don't
please?
explain anything yet, because I'm going to get to some dates.
Yes, ma'am.
Your girlfriend's daughter, That's who this is. Your girlfriend's daughter
Yes, ma'am.
says in March of 2005, he was fired from his job. Is that true?
Not quit.
You quit your job.
Correct.
Whatever. Fired. When he came home, we started to argue about money. He walked away from me and got into his car. So far, okay? They were arguing. He got into his car to leave.
Yes.
Prior to that, a few weeks after they had moved in together, so in February, they had a fight, according to her. He punched me repeatedly in the head, slapped me in my legs as hard as he could. I attempted to get away and ran outside, but he dragged me back into the house and continued to beat me. This was all in front of the children. This is what she says.
Yes, Your Honor.
All in front of the children. I pleaded with him to stop, and he finally left. A few weeks later, in March, evidently they're still together. All the while, he's abusing her children and abusing her, beating her. None of which you saw any evidence of, by the way. Is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Then in March, he was, according to her, fired from his job. He came home, they started to fight. He walked away to get into his car. So he walked away. Now, this is somebody that has beat her, dragged her into the house, punched her. So instead of saying, oh, he's leaving, I can get my stuff and my children and get out of here, right? Let's see what she does. Want to know what she says she does?
Yes, ma'am, please.
I followed him to finish talking. I knocked on his window to get his attention. You find that odd, Mr. Bell?
At this point, yes, I do, Your Honor.
Okay. He jumped out of the car and he hit me. I ran into the house and locked myself in our bedroom with my children. When I wouldn't let him in, he kicked down the door and threw me on the bed and continued hitting me. Are you getting mad at him?
Yes.
I don't believe her.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I had bought him a shotgun, and I didn't know what he was capable of doing with that gun.
When did you buy him a shotgun?
March.
The first time he hit you and beat you was in February. Why did you buy him a shotgun in March?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Eric Enum says ex-girlfriend Michelle Hamlin owes for breaking a lease and an unpaid loan. Michelle is countersuing for vandalism to her car and punitive damages.
Now, there's got to be something wrong with somebody who has family at home. You look like a very nice man. You live in the same town.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
So we have somebody who has a mother who's clearly close to her. You have somebody who stands in what we call in French, in loco parentis, like a father to her, because you say you love her, lives close by, who she can go to. So according to he beats her up, you don't see any evidence of that. I assume you see her regularly.
Yes.
Right? She's still with her.
Yes.
They have another fight, but he leaves. He doesn't hit her. He doesn't touch her. She runs out of the house after him because she's not finished talking. Doesn't sound right to me. Does it sound right to you, sir?
Well, young people act a little differently, but to me, no, Your Honor.
All right. And we're still talking March.
Yes, ma'am.
She didn't leave in March.
No, she did not.
When did you leave?
Like the middle of April.
Your counterclaim says on April 29th, in a fit of rage, he came to my job and saw me talking to one of my coworkers. But according to you, he had your daughter in the car, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what was he doing with your daughter in the car?
He was taking care of her while I was at work.
Right. And he took care of both of your children while you were at work.
He picked them up from the daycare. He chose to pick them up from daycare.
How often did he pick them up from daycare?
Mostly every day.
So after, according to you, he's been abusing your children since February, March, April. You allow him, unsupervised, to go and pick up your children? You understand me, Mr. Bell?
Yeah, I see your point, Your Honor.
Something doesn't, Mr. Bell.
Up to this point, yes, Your Honor.
Well, that's the testimony so far. I'm practically finished with the complaint and the answer. I mean, I don't have voluminous paper. Somebody who says that he abuses her children, that he spanks her infant, spanked her so hard it would leave bruises, and yet she allows him to be with her children unsupervised. If I believe it's true, she's as guilty as he is. She's the mother. They're her children.
Yes.
Her job is to protect those children. Do you understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
You chose as a baby to have 2 children with somebody who is totally irresponsible, who doesn't take care of his children, and then according to you, and I'm questioning the Truthfulness.
My children, and I was scared to leave in the first place because I had bought him a shotgun, and I didn't know what he was capable of doing with that gun.
When did you buy him a shotgun?
Like in March.
Just a second. You told me that the first time he hit you and beat you was in February. Why did you buy him a shotgun in March? I'll get to you in a second. Why would you buy him a shotgun in March?
Because he wanted it to have protection from the kid's father.
Mr. Bell, don't buy everything that she's telling you, sir.
May I speak just for a couple words?
Absolutely, sir.
Okay. I know that there's been numerous complaints against Michelle's children's. Eric and Michelle, when they first got together, numerous over telephone, verbal assaults.
You mean by the father of these two children?
Yes, and they were
Go ahead.
both in fear from the beginning.
Just a minute. Did she confide that in you, sir?
Oh, yes.
That the father of her two children was harassing?
Yes.
Threatening?
Yes.
Did she ever tell you that he was?
No.
Right. Now I'll hear you. Because if I don't get you up here, we may have an accident. Okay. Who are you?
I am Anna, and one of
Anna, you have a last name.
Arredondo.
Arredondo?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
On May 22nd of 2005, Michelle had came over to discuss some things with Eric, and
how do you know these two people?
I know these. I have met Michelle prior because they came over in my home, and I met her kids.
Just a second. So you're his friend?
Yes, I'm his friend.
How do you know him?
I've known him for 6 years.
Okay. So now you're going to tell me about something that happened in May.
Yes, in May 22nd, 2005, Michelle came over to Eric's home, and I was heading towards the kitchen, and I overheard her tell Eric.
Just 1 second. May 22nd, you went to his house?
Yes, sir.
Did you go with the police?
No, I went with a friend.
What did you go there to discuss?
Discuss about my stuff in the house still.
Discuss your property?
Yes, ma'am.
We're talking about somebody who beats you, beats your children, and you, without police protection, voluntarily went to his house.
Yes.
You got where I'm going, Mr. Bell?
I do, Your Honor.
Good. And what happened, Miss Arredondo? What did you hear?
I heard her, and I quote, if you take me to court, I'm just going to lie and tell the judge that you hit me. And Eric said, go ahead, she's just going to see that you're lying. So that's all I can say.
That's a lie. That's a lie, Your Honor.
I don't think so.
Eric Enum claims ex-girlfriend Michelle Hamlin broke their apartment lease and failed to repay his loan.
Okay. All I can do is look at conduct. According to you, you entered into an abusive relationship with someone with whom you had two children. Then you went to live with him.
Yes, ma'am.
And according to you, he started to abuse you as soon as you signed the lease in this house together. Seriously abusing you, beating, punching, hitting, kicking, but also did the same thing to your two infant children. And you continued to live with him. And when you had another fight, he wanted to leave the house, you followed him outside. And then he beat you again. And then you still continued to live with him and allowed your children to live with him. And not only did you allow your children to live with him, but you allowed him unsupervised care of your children. He was the caretaker of your children while you were working. Now, when for the first time did you report his abusive conduct to you and your children to the police?
I never reported it.
Why not?
Because I was scared if I did report it that he would do something else.
Your Honor, we haven't got to the part where he was driving recklessly with a child in the back of the car, doing donuts in a parking lot at her work.
Did you see that, Mr. Bell?
Myself, no.
So I just asked you if you saw that.
I did not see that.
Okay. Now, Mr. Edmonds says that he had the child in the car and he went to get her because why?
Because she said she was going to a party that night and going to leave me with the kids.
And what did you say to her?
I told her, no, you're not. You need to be home with your kids.
And she said?
She said, no, I'm not. I'm taking my kids. I'm going out.
I'm taking my kids and I'm going out.
Correct.
So what did you do?
I went to her work.
And you saw her doing what?
Being all over.
Listen to me. Go ahead.
I saw her being all over two other guys in the parking lot.
So you got mad?
Correct.
Were you driving around in a reckless manner in the parking lot with the child in the car?
No.
What did you do?
I told her to get in the car and go home. And when we got to our place of residence, I pulled in the garage and the police came right behind us.
Because she had called the police.
Correct.
Had you called him that day to tell him you were going out?
Yes, ma'am.
And when did you tell him you were going to be home?
Probably
Don't look down there. When did you tell him you were going to be home?
like about 12 or 1.
In the morning. And who was supposed to watch the children till 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning?
I told him that I was going to go to a friend's house and watch a movie and that I would come and pick up my daughter and take her with me. He told me that.
Just a second. Where was your other child?
My other child was with his dad.
When did the other child go with his father?
In the morning time.
This is the same father who you were afraid of and you bought him a shotgun to protect the two of you from?
Yes, ma'am.
You got a lot of work to do, Mr. Bell. Her judgment is impaired. Do you understand? You don't get it. Her judgment is impaired.
She's young, and I watched her mature from a teenager to a very good mother. And she is a very good mother, Your Honor.
Impossible! Impossible if I believe what she wrote in her answer, Mr. Bell. Impossible if I believe her that she allowed her children to be in a circumstance with this man who abused her children. That makes her the worst possible mother. The worst possible mother. To sit there and watch a stranger to the children, she says, beat her baby with bruises, and you're telling me matured into a very good mother? Your judgment is impaired.
I believe sometimes, Your Honor, that love is blind. It may be
Love may be blind, and there are women who stay in abusive relationships. She clearly is one of those people who stayed, at least in her first relationship, which was abusive, although she continues to have the lunatic that she described to me before that required protection by a shotgun. She allowed that person to take her infant child. Impaired judgment. And I don't believe her. I don't believe that she was the victim of the kind of abuse she ascribes to the plaintiff. She filed not one police report. You saw no evidence of abuse on either her or her children. She didn't even file a police report after she moved. As a matter of fact, after she moved out and she was free and clear of this horrendous person who beat her and her children, she went back to his house. Is that the action of somebody who's afraid? Okay. Listen to me, sir. You get not a dime from her. You're living in a house. You're happy living there. What you are required to do in this kind of circumstance is to mitigate your damages, which means you put an ad in the internet, you put an ad in the local paper for a roommate. You chose not to do that. That's wonderful. You can afford it. Live there. I don't believe your allegations with regard to your counterclaim, madam. And I think that you have to. If you made 2 children, you better get smart. Because if on the long shot that anything that you say here was true, you have so far made 2 very poor choices. And you have a responsibility to your 2 children to choose more wisely with regard to mates that you select, or else make up your mind that you're not going to have a mate for a while and you're going to rely on this gentleman and your mother as family to help raise your children. And grow up. That's all.
Buddies are excused and they step out. Back into the bench.
His boyfriend, paint repair worker Dean Harrington, for an unpaid loan to pay off debt. Dean is countersuing for the return of stolen property and for having him falsely arrested for sexual assault.
Yeah, this is case number 324 on the calendar in the matter of Brown versus Harrington. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, proceed.
Ms. Brown, Mr. Harrington and you had a relationship for quite some time. According to your complaint, you lived together. And while you were living together, you made him a loan in the amount of $6,000. In addition, there was, according to you, a violent episode you shared together where he assaulted you both physically and sexually, and he was arrested. Yep. Mr. Harrington said that the $6,000 was not a loan, but that you had lived with him for a period of time, never paid any expenses when you lived there, and this really was repayment for living expenses. And in addition, he says that while he was in jail for that one day, and you were only there one day, sir?
Just for the night. Release me in the
In
morning.
jail for one day, he says that the charges that you filed against him were false, and he wants money for emotional distress. How long did you 2 live together?
A little bit over 2 years.
From when to when?
March until
March of what year?
2002, until the beginning of May of this year.
And did you live in his home?
Yes.
Did you pay expenses in the house?
Yes, I did.
What kind of expenses did you pay?
At first, he had a loan out for the garage, so I took over the loan for the garage while he paid for the house payment and the other bills, and I took care of the food. I'd buy all the groceries.
Now tell me about the $6,000.
Well, he had one of the other loans that he had out was for $6,000, and he was paying $100 a month on that loan. And I told him, I says, if you look at this, only half of it goes to the loan, the other half goes to the interest. I says, what we can do is borrow some money out of my savings account, get rid of this so we don't have to pay that interest anymore. In exchange, we just put that $100 back into my savings account instead. And
Where did you get $6,000 from?
Oh, my dad had died and I had gotten some inheritance money.
Okay, so what did he say?
He thought that was a good idea. That way we would be saving money.
Use a joint account?
Yeah, both of our checks started going into the same checking account.
All right, so let's hear about the $6,000. She says you didn't give her back the $6,000.
Okay, this lady here, met her at the bar, and
Listen to me.
met her at the bar.
Listen to me. I'm not interested in when you met her. I'm not interested in when you started to date her. I'm not interested in anything but the $6,000. You want to talk about your relationship, you go to a psychiatrist. This is about $6,000.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Who are you?
I'm his daughter.
No, he's a grown man.
Okay.
You take medication?
No.
Is there any reason why you
No.
can't tell me the story?
He's nervous.
I haven't done anything yet.
I met her.
Well, Your Honor.
Shh. Don't speak. Mr. Harrington, I'm not interested in the beginning of your relationship. I'm interested in the $6,000 that she says you owe her. Could you get to it?
The $6,000 was from when she moved in and agreed to pay the partial house payment with the utilities, and she said that she couldn't afford it, so she said she'd pay the loan off with her dad's inheritance that she received from him. That was no loan. I've got 9 months of bank statements here that she never put nothing in it.
She never put anything in your joint account.
It was no joint account. And she moved in. It wasn't a joint account until November 9th, 2002.
Okay.
I have proof right here.
After November of 2002, did she start to put money in your joint account?
Yes.
How much?
I guess it was $742 or something every 2 weeks.
And you used that money for expenses? Yes, the answer is yes. You used it for expenses. Your expenses, her expenses.
Yes.
You lived together. This was a family, the
Right.
two of you. Now, what was the $6,000 debt that you had? What was it for? Was it from credit cards? Was it from a car? Was it from a loan that you
I
took out?
suppose it was odds and ends for, I've got horses, might have been $1,000 for them, it's just the $6,000 wasn't applied to one
thing.
Right.
All right, so this was clearly your $6,000 loan that she paid off with her $6,000. Right?
You're correct.
Now, when you separated in May, according to you, there was an incident at the house.
Yes.
You want to tell me what happened? Because that goes to Mr. Harrington's counterclaim.
Yeah. In the middle of the night, I woke up with him putting handcuffs on me over the top of me, and I went to pull away from him, and I seen a gun sitting there on the nightstand, so I just stopped fighting just like that. I was scared to death.
You understand that the jurisdiction of this court is $5,000. You
Right.
understand that. So the money that you say was a loan, the $6,000, far exceeds the jurisdiction of the court. So I find that the $6,000 initially that Mr. Harrington had spent was money that he had spent on himself, his horses, odds and ends, etc. They were not debts of a joint couple who were living together. So I'm entering a judgment in your favor in the amount of $5,000. Now I'm going to get, sir, to your counterclaim. I've read the police report. The police report, I don't know whether your daughter has read. Have you?
No, I haven't.
All right. The police report contains your fully Mirandized statement about what transpired the evening that Ms. Brown has described to me, and I haven't asked her to go into detail. It's really not necessary. And there is no question in my mind, sir, that based upon your confession to the police, Miss Brown had sexual relations with you because she felt intimidated. Now, you may have thought that that was a way to spice up your sex life, sir, but clearly she did not. You acknowledged you used handcuffs. You acknowledged you took a gun out and placed it on the night table. You acknowledged all of that. And you seem to think that that was okay. Now, I don't know why the district attorney chose not to pursue this matter. I haven't a clue. They found the handcuffs where she said that they were in your home. You acknowledged that you took them out without her consent. You did say that when she told you to take them off, you took them off. But that doesn't say that she wasn't, in fact, intimidated and frightened by your actions, because according to you and according to her, you had never done that before. I would be frightened, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you?
No comment.
You wouldn't be frightened if a man that you lived with for the first time took out handcuffs while you were half asleep? Put handcuffs on you, proceeded to have sex with you, and you turned over to the night table and there was a gun there? That wouldn't frighten you.
I have no comment.
You have no comment. Good, then say nothing. In any event, your counterclaim, sir, is dismissed, because the crux of your counterclaim is that you suffered emotional distress from being in jail for that one night. If it were up to me, you would have been jailed for a lot longer than one night. Your counterclaim is dismissed. That's all.
Excuse you can step out.
You better watch yourself.
Very smart.
Women, what can I say? They have you arrested, clean your house out, and still want more.
I knew my side of the story was true and it would come out this way, so I'm very glad it's over and done with.
She says,
It's a
love
card.
Wanda.
From one with handcuffs
love.
on it.
The message behind that was meaning that we were joined together.
Hey, this is just one of them,
This is
but I got one every year.
Nothing to do with sex or nothing. It meant that I was committed and we were together.
What they did that night is not something that is rare.
He even asked me about it when I gave it to him, and I straightened him out right away that it just meant that we were committed to each other.
For her to sit there and say that they've never done it before is
We've
is
had
a
them out. We played around before.
Oh, I'm glad it's over with.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Craddock versus Rodriguez. Step forward.
Small business owner Joanne Craddock is suing her sister, cocktail waitress Deborah Rodriguez, and her husband Gilbert for their share of a Disneyland vacation. The couple says Joanne gave them the money because they couldn't afford to go on the trip.
Miss Craddock,
Yes.
Mrs. Rodriguez is your sister, and I assume this is her husband. Is that right?
Correct.
According to your complaint, your sister owes you for the expenses for a trip that the two families took to Disney.
Yes.
Your sister says that there was never an agreement to pay you back the money that she did in fact use. She had some financial problems. You insisted that she accompany the family to Disney, told you would take care of things, and that this whole thing stems from an unfortunate incident surrounding your father's death. When was the trip to Disney?
November of 2003.
And was it an overnight trip or a day trip?
We were there for a week. Debbie and Gilbert took our van, and we took our other van and drove down, and we stayed at a timeshare for a week.
So far, is that true, that you took their car?
Yes.
And the trip had been planned for both families?
Yes.
So why did it become necessary for you to take money from your sister?
On November 9th, I got in a car accident where it was a 3-car accident. One car hit my car right on the driver's side door. Was taken by ambulance to the hospital. Had to be out of work. The car had over $5,000 worth of damage. So I had to call my sister and tell her that I wasn't going to have the money to go. She really wanted us to go on this trip.
Is that what, did she call you?
At all.
Okay. Tell me what she said when she called you and told you she needed your car.
We had offered her our van, and they would just put the gas in it, and we would take our other van, and the timeshare was already paid for. We each had our own timeshare.
Had you paid for it already?
Yes.
How much was that?
$220, I believe. We paid for that almost a year before we went, so that was all.
So the room was paid for?
Yes.
So what was the conversation about money that you had with your sister?
They told us that they were low on money. They didn't have any more money, and we said that we would put things on our charge for you, but don't let me have to take you to Judge Judy. Honest to God. And here we are.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Things went very badly. She was behaving badly. She was making everybody very uncomfortable, and I had to kick her out of the house.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Joanne Craddock says her sister and brother-in-law owe for a trip to Disneyland. Deborah and Gilbert Rodriguez claim the money was a gift until a family argument changed everything.
So she started to put monies on the credit card for your family. What makes you think that she wasn't expecting to be repaid when you could afford to repay her?
I couldn't afford to repay her, and she
I
knew
said,
that.
I said, what makes you think, considering you are not families who have lots of spare cash, car hit you, I assume that you're suing the driver of that car?
Yes.
So eventually, you're going to either settle that lawsuit or come into some money. Why would you think that your sister, who doesn't have a lot of money, would not expect to be repaid?
Because I called her before we took the trip. After my car accident, I'm a cocktail waitress. I live on my tips.
Yes.
I knew I would not have enough money to do this trip.
And she said to you, what?
She said, I want you to go on this trip, and I'll help you out.
So my question to you is, I'm going to come back to my question. She helped you out. She gave you a car to go down in. Why would you think that you should not send your sister $50 a month and say, listen, thanks for helping me out. My family, we all had a great time on the trip. And if it wasn't for you, we really couldn't have gone. I'm going to send you $50 a month till it's paid off.
It was never alone. And the only time it became an issue, she filed for this suit the day after my father died. And the reason she did that was because she was making everybody very uncomfortable. She hadn't spoken to my father in 15 years. She wouldn't have been at my father's house if it hadn't been for me. I pushed for that because I thought it was only fair that she see her father before he died. And things went very badly. She was behaving badly, and I had to kick her out of the house. My aunts came from Rochester, New York, an 8-hour trip. She wasn't allowing them to spend any time with their brother. The situation became out of hand, and I had to throw her out of the house. That is when she said, you're going to make my life miserable, I'll make your life miserable for the rest of your life. And the next day, my father died on the 11th. On the 12th, she filed this suit. It had never been an issue until that day.
Everything she just said was a complete lie.
Was there an incident that happened prior to your father's
My
death?
father's wife did not want me around for 15 years. I only live a quarter of a mile from my father. Okay, so it was my father that died also. Except my sister and I are adopted, and we have never gotten along. Okay, we were trying once again to have a family. My sister did work very hard so that I could see my father, and I did spend 36 hours up with him because I had not seen him in 15 years, other than twice in the mall. And it wasn't my doing; it was his wife's doing. You know, she's his wife.
Whatever.
So, yeah. So everybody was in the kitchen. I was staying with my father, not doing anything. And my sister said, "We need to talk." And can we do this later? He's got hours here, and I wanted to be with him as much as I could. And all of a sudden, she's telling me how she's going to call the police. And I never went to my father's wake or his burial because she told me I'm the one that was making everybody uncomfortable. Stayed away.
That's unfortunate.
But now that my father is dead, he was the pole for us to get together or do anything. And probably after today, I'll never see my sister because we aren't close.
Well, that's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. It's very unfortunate.
That's unfortunate. But that's not the issue. The issue is there an expectation, an understanding that money is going to be repaid at a time when you get back to work and your financial situation is improved? I have to determine whether that was your understanding with her.
Okay, can I say something, Your Honor?
You can say something quickly.
There was no understanding on that matter. Would it have been nice to have paid that? Yeah, I think basically, but after this was filed, this frivolous lawsuit, no, I think we don't know that. We never agreed to that.
Well, let me ask you, if it was nice before,
Would have been nice.
for you to pay them back, right?
Perhaps.
Mr. Rodriguez, life is about being a moral person.
I agree, Your Honor.
You're mouthing the words. But you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. If you're a moral person, and if you are unemployed, and you have 2 children, are these your 2 children?
No, but I would consider my 2 children.
He's their stepfather. Do you have children?
Yes, I do.
Where are they?
Texas.
How old?
He's 22.
When was the last time you saw him? Almost not an
about
answer.
2 years.
2 years ago.
About 2 years ago.
I mean, don't you wake up some mornings and say, I have a child that I haven't seen in 2 years?
Yeah, I do.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. Rodriguez, listen to me very carefully, sir. Sometimes you're better off not speaking. Do you understand?
True.
Especially when it's not your family.
I understand, Your Honor.
Good.
It just boils my blood that she's going to stand here and just makes silly accusations.
Mr. Rodriguez, she's not making any silly accusations.
I think
She's
so.
she's saying that her sister and her husband, 2 able-bodied people, had to borrow money from her, to stop taking it, had to borrow money, you use the word borrow, had to take money from her in order to go on a vacation that had been planned for a year because you, sir, didn't have a job, right? And as far as I'm concerned, you can always get a job. It's not necessarily the job that you like. When I used to sit in the family court, you know what I would do? On my way into work, I would pass all the places where there were signs that said help wanted. Car washes, grocery stores, fast food restaurants. And I would have a list of those places and their addresses. And whenever a father came to court and said, I don't have a job, I can't pay child support, I would say, I have a list here for you. Because when you make a family, you have to work. You don't rely on somebody else to take care of your business. That's why you're supposed to sometimes, Mr. Rodriguez, keep your mouth shut. Got it? Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $380. That's all.
Both are excused. You may step out.
It was a great vacation.
Fellow motorist, weight loss center salesperson Danielle Caruso for ramming her Nissan Sentra in a fit of road rage. Danielle says it was Marquita who hit her.
Yeah, this is case number 87 on the calendar in the matter of Wilcox versus Caruso. And look, we have visual aids.
Visual aids.
Visual aids.
Would you tell everybody to sit down, please?
Oh, yeah, have a seat. Thanks very much.
Officer Byrd, we have a case here of two young ladies involved in a case of road rage. You don't have anything to do with this case other than you own this car that she was driving.
And my father.
But you don't know anything about it.
No, nothing.
So you can sit behind the visual aid over there.
Sure.
Usually we have guys involved in road rage. You know, they get all those hormones and stuff they have all juiced up. Anyway, Miss Wilcox, it is your claim that the defendant in an act of road rage caused an accident which caused your car to be damaged. Yeah. She says that you were the one responsible for this unfortunate incident that happened on the highway, or were it not for your actions, the accident would not have taken place. So first, why don't you tell me when this incident happened and where you were going?
On the morning of February 12th, 2004, I was on my way to work.
What time?
At about 9:20, between 9:20 and 9:30.
What time do you do at work?
10 o'clock.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a paralegal.
What kind of car were you driving?
A Nissan Sentra.
What year?
2002.
And you have a current valid driver's license and did at the time of the incident?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tell me what happened.
On the morning of February 12th, I was on my way to work. I was traveling southbound on Nob Hill Road, which Nob Hill Road, as you enter the left lane, it turns onto the expressway, which is State Road 84. We consider it to be I-595.
Which is your car?
I'm number 2. Mrs. Knight was number 1. As we entered on the expressway, I proceeded over into the center lane. As this lane ends, if you stay in this lane, you'll end up getting back off the expressway. Ms. Knight was upset that as we went to get on the expressway, I entered in front of her to get on the expressway. She was behind me yelling obscenities, acting like she was going to bump the back of my car.
So maybe you cut her off.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Absolutely. Shh. Shh. Maybe you cut her off.
Yes.
And she was angry.
Yes.
Go ahead.
We entered on the expressway. I proceeded into the center lane. Mrs. Knight came around me from the center lane to make her way into the third lane, where she hit that vehicle, knocked her into the median. She then came around me. As she came around me, she gave me her middle finger, as to say, you know, what the middle finger means. She came around me. She then bumped the front of me to cut me off and knock me out of my lane. She knocked my car spun out of control over here, and then back over here where I landed into the path of the first car that she knocked out, which is vehicle 3. She continued east on State Road 84, where 2 cars had to follow her to bring her back.
Not your car?
No, I was knocked off into the median. As she came back yelling, she came back cursing.
Okay, stop. I'm going to pick it up in a second.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, Your Honor. Actually, there's no way possible that I could have proceeded 3 lanes over, because at 9:30 in the morning on 595, it's a major highway.
Don't tell me what's
I
impossible.
have a picture here
Just
to show you. Okay, so
show
the
me.
accurate is, she was in front of me, like she said. I'm here, smashing her brake, knocking me off as I waved and killed her with kindness, because my mom always taught me, you kill people with kindness. Don't feed into them. So I didn't. I tried to get over another lane and just chose right here. She got in front of me again, smashing on her brakes on a major highway, flicking me off as I'm laughing at her, because it was kind of comical to me. I was on my way to work as well. I did get over into the third lane because we still had the on-ramp lane. And as I did, I passed her. And when I passed her, I looked right at her and said, yeah, baby, you ain't in front of me anymore. I enjoyed that because you know what? She can't smash her brakes in front of me anymore. So I'm not going to rear end someone and be false. So I proceeded to pass her. As I proceeded to pass her, she sped up and tried to cut in front of me. She couldn't because my car had a little more power out of Ford Taurus, and it did pass her. As I passed her, she tried to push me into this lane. I couldn't go because there was a BMW truck. I did not hit that BMW truck. It is not in the accident report. That BMW truck had to go into the side of the highway here to avoid me hitting her because it was a near miss, like it says right here. At that point, I decided to stay in this lane. That's when she continued to come in this lane, swiped the back end of my car here, which due to her, driving ability, spun her out into a NASCAR scene, which spun her out uncontrollable until she sideswiped the front end of the BMW truck, which ended them both up, her in the middle of median grass area. I had no choice because there was so much traffic still by us to exit off, stop and call 911, which I did, and it's in the 911 report. At that point, by the time you exit, go through a shopping center and get back on the highway, it takes a couple minutes. I then got back on the highway this way, met at the accident in the median, and her hands were going all up in the air, how I was wrong. Like I said, my mom told me to
May I see the police report, please?
I have the police report right here.
I'd like to see it.
And Your Honor, she did hit the first car.
Just a second. Did you speak to the police
Yes, I
officer?
did.
And you spoke to the police
Yes.
officer. Did the driver of the BMW speak to the police
Yes,
officer?
they spoke to each of us separately.
Okay, that's what it suggests here. Now, after the police officer questioned the plaintiff and the driver of the BMW, you were issued a citation for careless driving. And I'm going to quote what the police officer wrote in the police report, which says exactly what she says happened. That you were driving fast. It said that vehicle number 3 was traveling on the inside lane, that vehicle number 3 was knocked off the road because of your driving, that you went over from one lane all the way over to the other lane. That's not the way we drive.
Excuse me, Your Honor. That vehicle that is the witness of vehicle number 3 did not, they were on the highway prior to us entering the highway, so she did not see the reason why I was driving accurate exactly.
I don't know what she saw or not. All I know is you came onto the highway and you proceeded, because your car, according to this, was going faster than her car, to go all the way over into the far left lane. That's what this says you were doing. You were in a big hurry.
To avoid someone from smashing their brakes
Madam, I do not believe you. I do not believe that this woman got in front of you and then smashed her brakes on so that you would hit her in the rear. She doesn't look like a psychotic to me. Let me see your damages, please.
This is my damage. This is the estimate from her insurance company, and this is my pictures of my car as well.
It's clear that she hit your car.
Yes, ma'am. 2 witnesses had to bring her back, and they both came back to the scene to let the police know that they wanted to make sure that she was coming back.
Okay. The that I have are a police report, which is totally consistent with the plaintiff's story. I have pictures which clearly indicate to me that something hit her car, not that her car hit something else, which is totally consistent with this version of events. And I have a story that suggests to me that you were traveling too fast, that you wanted to get over into the fast lane. And not only did you almost cause an accident with another car, because you were going fast enough, and according to you, that road is very heavily traveled.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you could not possibly have gone from the far right lane to the far left lane. But you did. But you did, because you cut off the BMW.
The BMW collided with her car.
All right. You lost your temper. You acted like a fool, and you shouldn't have.
I waved at her and smiled.
You acted like a fool. Did you have insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what was your deductible?
It's $500.
Okay, so you're really looking for the $500 deductible?
Well, no, because in the state of Florida, we're not required to carry comp and collision. At the time, I did not carry comp and collision.
You did not?
No, ma'am.
Why didn't you carry collision?
At the time, it wasn't on my policy. I had a policy under my mother, and at the time, it just wasn't. We did not know.
Is the car fully paid for?
No, ma'am.
Well, if it's not fully paid for, you have to carry collision.
Yes, you do. In the state of Florida, it is required.
Just a second. We understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't have a car that's fully paid for, you are required to carry collision insurance. So you're going to send to me a copy of your insurance policy that was in existence on the car at the time of this accident in February. Now, did you have your car fixed?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
I just haven't had it to pay for it yet. I'm still paying the car note. I just haven't had it to pay the damages.
Okay, this is what we're going to do, Miss Wilcox. I believe that the defendant is responsible for your damage to your car. And either your out-of-pocket expenses are $500,
Yes, ma'am.
or they are $4,300. And I'm going to defer that judgment until you furnish me with the insurance policy that was in effect in February of 2004 when this accident happened. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
Why is that messed up out?
I did not hit her car. That's why my car had no damage. She had a white car. My car is blue. I had white paint on my car. So how would she not have damage? Miss Wilcox's hands were all up in the air, freaking out, yelling in road rage. Mrs. Knight was totally upset that I got in front of her. I just laughed and killed her with kindness. She gave me the finger. She came back yelling. I'm glad it's over with and done and taken care of. Oh, God, it's just a lesson learned. I know there are crazy people out on the world that don't need to be driving, and I'm happy that justice was served today.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of DeLong versus Bryant. Step forward, please.
Retail auditor Darlene Dottie DeLong is suing her ex-boyfriend, painting contractor John Bryant, for his share of the trip to North Carolina. John says he was out of work, so Dottie picked up the tab.
Mr. Long, Mr. Bryant and you were involved in a relationship, and according to your complaint, he wanted to travel from where the two of you were living to his hometown. There was some problem with his daughter and other things, but the problem was he didn't have any money. So you made an arrangement with him whereby you would put everything on your credit card and he would pay you back that money within a certain period of time. And he hasn't paid you back, and you're no longer involved in a relationship. Mr. Bryant said there was never a loan. He just wanted to go back to his hometown, meet his friends and family. There was never any agreement to reimburse you for any of the expenses. Is that right, sir?
That's true.
Okay. How long were you involved with Mr. Bryant before you decided to accompany him to his hometown?
Approximately a couple months.
Couple of months?
Couple of months.
You were not living together. You were just seeing him?
He stayed at the house and I stayed at his house.
And where were you living at the time?
In Indian River.
Indian River is where?
Michigan.
And where is your hometown, sir?
After Michigan, just the next town over from Indian River.
So this is the trip that you made?
No, we went to North Carolina.
Oh, well, that's what I want. You went to North Carolina
Yes.
from Michigan. And
Yes,
how
we
long
did.
did that take you?
We were gone for 4 days. The ride down was about a 13 to 14-hour ride.
When did you travel there?
A couple days before the Super Bowl.
What prompted you to go?
Her wanting to go down, meet my children, my friends. We were sitting in the bar one night. It was during the playoffs, and I would call my friends in North Carolina, and we'd root back and forth about how the Panthers were going to the Super Bowl. And she said, wouldn't it be nice if we went down and watched the game with your friends? And, yeah, sure, it would be great. But I told her that I wasn't working, I didn't have the money, and I thought it would be ridiculous for us to do that because I couldn't afford it.
Why weren't you working?
It was wintertime in northern Michigan, and I'm a paint contractor, and things are real slow in the wintertime up there.
Okay. And she said what to you?
She said that she would love to pay for us to go down, do that for me, so we could see my kids, she could meet my kids and my family, my friends.
And that's what you did?
Yeah, she was very persistent. Yeah.
Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If a man wants to spend whatever money he doesn't have in buying drugs, that should have been your first clue that this was not a good idea.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Dottie DeLong claims ex-boyfriend John Bryant owes for a trip to North Carolina. Dottie says John wanted to visit his troubled daughter.
Okay, now I'll hear your version of the events, Mr. Long.
We went to North Carolina.
No, before you went to North Carolina.
I don't know what you want to know. We were dating and his daughter was in trouble.
Well, tell me about that.
Okay, his daughter was in trouble. He wanted to go see his daughter. She was going into a girl's home, running out in the middle of the night, sneaking out of her house.
Is that what he told you?
Yes, I have phone bills to prove he was calling there.
All right. So tell me about the trip to North Carolina.
We went to North Carolina. He left me at his friend's house, went over and visited his daughter a couple times. We went to the school to visit his daughter. And the other time we were at the Super Bowl party at his friend's house.
I didn't hear about any loan, madam.
I paid for all the gas on the way down on my credit cards, which I have the receipts of his signature.
Yes.
And he told me that if I paid for it, when he got back to work, he'd reimburse me.
When did you expect him to get back to work?
When the weather broke up there, March, April.
And when is the Super Bowl?
January.
End
End
of January.
of January.
Sorry.
Just telling you.
I loaned him money, a $50 loan at one point. Not sure if you want me to tell you about that loan.
No, don't
It was
ask him.
drugs, so he could buy a bag of pot.
Yes.
He did reimburse me for that.
When did he reimburse you?
He did reimburse me for that. Are you saying I'm lying? Are you saying I'm lying?
Ma'am, yes. Talk to the judge.
Thank you. Okay, so what you're telling me, Mr. Long, is when he borrowed money from you for marijuana, he paid you back.
Yes, he did.
So when he considers it a loan, he pays you back. Is that what you're telling me?
He gave me that back because he went to work a couple times and got paid. And I said, can I get some money from you for what you owe me? Because I have none. And he says, this is what I got that I can afford. I know I owe you more, but I can't give it to you right now.
When
And I
is
have
that?
witnesses to that.
Oh, I'll hear you witness. Step up. Tell me your name.
Brenda Santor.
And how are you related to these people?
Darling is my cousin.
Okay. Tell me about where you were when you overheard Mr. Bryant acknowledging a debt to plaintiff.
I was in her living room. He just gotten out of the shower. He was sitting in the chair, and he handed Darlene a $100 bill, said that this is part of the money that I owe you, that he was going to make good on the money for the trip.
I don't believe what you just said. Just a minute. I don't believe what you just said.
Well,
you're making that up as you're going.
No.
I believe that you may have seen handed. Listen to me, Brenda. Ma'am. I believe you when you said that you saw him hand her a $100 bill. That might make sense that he got out of a shower and he handed her a $100 bill. I don't believe you when you said that you heard him say, I know that I owe you money for the trip and I'm going to give it back. Because somebody who just gets out of a shower and is sitting around in a towel doesn't talk about, here's $100 and I know I owe you more money for the trip and I'm going to pay you back. That's what you want me to believe you heard?
No, ma'am. When he was sitting in the chair in the living room, we were standing right there in the doorway. And when he handed Darlene the money, he said that he would make good on the money he owes her.
Oh, just a second. Just a second.
Well, the
Just a
money
second.
he owes her was for the trip. So,
Sit down. Anything else you want to tell me?
I have phone bills here that show that his daughter was in trouble, that he had made from my house.
So,
why would I want to go to see his daughter in trouble?
no, I don't think you wanted to go and see his daughter and who was in trouble. I think that you wanted to solidify your relationship and you wanted to go meet his friends. You knew he had no money, so you paid for the trip. Whatever the trip was, gas money, hotel money. It was a social endeavor. You paid for it. You anticipated a long-term relationship. You didn't have one. Stop complaining. Write it off. It was a bad debt.
Your Honor,
What?
I'm the one that asked Jack to leave.
That may be, and you may have had good reason for that, madam, because if a man doesn't have any money and he wants to spend whatever money he doesn't have in buying drugs, that should have been your first clue that this
Exactly.
was not a good idea. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Very good. I wouldn't have traveled with him from here to over where that light switch is, but you chose to do that, pay for it. It was a foolish thing to do. Don't do it again. Goodbye.
La Lumiere are suing Sherry's mother, 52-year-old phone operator Paula Rabator, for unpaid rent and living expenses. Paula has a separate lawsuit against the couple for the return of her property.
Order. All rise.
Yeah, this case is number 385 and 386 on the calendar in the matter of Norris, La Lumiere versus Rapator.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Norris, this is your mother.
Yes.
This is your boyfriend.
Yes.
You claim that your mother owes you for rent during the time she lived with you.
Yes.
When did your mother come to live with you?
Sometime early mid-November. I'm
The
sorry.
questions are going to get harder.
I'm just nervous. Around mid-November last year of 2000.
And under what circumstances did she come to live with you?
Shortly before, less than 2 weeks, she'd been evicted from yet another apartment, and she called me very upset because she was stranded with no place to go. So, again, I let her live with me.
And she had stayed with you before, I assume?
Yes, several times before. I've helped her.
What was the financial arrangement, if there was one?
That she would agree to pay $50 a week if she was responsible for her other expenses, her personal things, doing her own laundry. I have washer dryer. If she was going to take care of all that out of the house, then it would only be $50. I have 3 floors in my apartment. The 3rd floor, she had all of that for her. There was two rooms with full closets. She had, a good amount of space.
And your mother agreed to pay you $50 a week?
Yes, at least.
Is that right?
Yes.
And you say that she did not pay you the $50 a week?
No, she was with us for around 10 months. During that time, we got at most $200 in total from my mother. Not only, that's not just cash, we got one payment in the form of a scratch ticket that she had won. And after a period of time, she just said right out that she wouldn't leave and she wasn't going to give us any money anymore either.
All right, let me hear you.
I moved in there on the 28th of October. We agreed on $50 a week. Mr. LaLumia told me at that time $50 a week would only allow me a room or the rooms. I wasn't allowed to use the phone, watch television, or eat any of the food in the house. I'm a tea drinker. I bought my own tea, sugar, and milk. I ate at the local pizza parlors and the little variety store at a cost of $80 to $90 a week to myself. I bought my own cigarettes and liquids outside of my tea, and they never bought any of my necessaries, and I wanted nothing of them, Judge Judy, at all.
I'm asking you about the $50 a week.
I paid them. I have, where I worked at Dunkin' Donuts, and I was on unemployment when I moved in, I didn't ask Sherry for receipts, or I didn't give a receipt because she's my daughter. I have accounted for financially $1,150 that I did at different points give her all together.
The only she paid was a $50 money order and a scratch ticket and the 3 receipts from the landlord. That is the only money that Miss Rabitor has ever given us in the time she has lived with us. She has been supplied with food. She has snuck down in the middle of the night, taken food up to her rooms. She has ravaged the house.
Judge Judy, I lived with my daughter and Mr. LaLumia for 10 months. Not once in the 10-month time did Sherry or Jim ever speak to me.
So why didn't you leave?
I tried to get jobs while I lived there. My daughter blackballed me out of jobs. People would call there, and Sherry would say nasty, dirty things about me to companies or places that I was trying to get employment. So I wasn't really working other than a $6 under-the-table job at 15 hours a week.
Did you live with your mother until you were how old?
15, I left home.
You were 15?
I was 15 when I left home because I had abusive parents. At 17 was the first time my mother stayed with me because she had been evicted at that time. She stayed with me for a short period of time when I was just a teenager. For all of these years, I have helped her. This is the 3rd time she's lived with me, at least. And every time it ends terribly.
Well, tell me how it
makes
ended.
me hesitant to help her any further, but I do because she's my mother. I do. She's whispering things over here, being taunting.
Shh! Don't speak. How old are your children?
12 and 13.
And they live with you as well?
Yes.
Does your mother have, to the best of your knowledge, any particular problem that causes this eviction from one apartment to another apartment? Has she ever had any psychiatric treatment?
It's not just that she continuously gets evicted from. She can't keep jobs either.
I'm asking you about any psychiatric disability.
Yes, when we were children, my brother and sister and I, when she was with her first husband, she was getting psychiatric treatment at the time. I was young. I didn't pay much attention. My brother actually had brought it to my attention recently. He reminded me of that. And at some point after she and my father split up, she and her first husband, he was not my biological father, she stopped getting any sort of, I don't know if she's on medication. She never has continued counseling or medications. And yes, I know that is greatly to do with why she can't hold jobs and she can't keep apartments because she can't maintain relationships of any kind. I am her oldest child. She was a teenage mother when she had me. The last words my mother has spoken to me since she left my apartment was that she's regretted this since the day that I was born. And I am the only person that has helped her since I was 17 years old. She's from a family of 10. She has 9 brothers and sisters, and they won't help her. I have a younger brother and a younger sister. They won't help her. I have helped her over and over again since I was a teenager myself.
So,
and this is what happened.
Miss Norris, let me ask you this question. I know you're upset.
Because it's my mother.
I gotcha.
She's supposed to be the mother, not me.
You know, sometimes roles change when you don't want them to.
But when it's hurtful over and over again, that doesn't bother me taking care of her and help her. I knew she needed it, and I didn't have a problem doing it repeatedly. The only reason that she was even in the home is because she's my mother. I mean, Jim didn't know her anything. I didn't really either, but nobody
What
else would
happened,
help
Miss
her.
Norris? Listen, let you compose yourself for a minute.
Thank you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sherry Norris says her mother, Paula Rabator, owes for unpaid rent and living expenses. Sherry says she's been burned before by her mother.
Miss Norris, after 10 months, your mother left your house. Had you had a fight?
There had been a fight. Well, not a fight. Oh, yeah, it was. Actually, it started over money. When she first came, she had no job. She'd just been fired from a job. Animosity was created when she was asked when she was going to start paying. She said she wanted to take time off, and it was just before the holidays last year. She had just gotten fired. She'd just gotten evicted. She said she needed time to recover. And with the holidays, I thought, okay, you know, it's not a problem. It'd be hard to find employment anyway right now. So that was not a problem. And then she did get a job while she was collecting unemployment from another state. That's another character point of hers, using different names.
Tell me what happened at the end, Miss Norris.
Okay, lots of stuff happened in between. She was a terrible example for my kids, my daughters. The things that she says and the way that she talks, my kids were just their chins hitting the floor with the vulgar language that she uses, not just profanity, just very sexually oriented things and just other totally bizarre things that she did. She had a small bird. She believed one of my children was responsible for killing it. So she nailed the dead little bird to her bedroom door with a note telling my daughters to stay out. That's how she is. And my children even think they said when they left the room, the bird was fine. They believe she did it herself. This is where her mental illness comes in.
You didn't make the kids think it was me.
This is where her mental illness comes in.
But I would curse like a Judy.
She threw them out the window, all of them having been pets caged for 5 years. They can't fly. And she threw them out the window the day she was leaving. That's how much she loved her birds. I thought she loved them too. But when she did it, she made sure she came downstairs to tell me she had just thrown her birds out the window. 3 of them, I never saw her again. 1 of them hit the ground because she was so weak. I still have her. It was my neighbor that, this is her act.
Just a second.
Please,
Question,
understand
Miss
that.
Norris. Miss Norris.
I know, I'm missing the point. This is
Just-
getting distracting.
Okay, it's getting distracting. But let's get back
No, anyway, so the point, at the time that I needed to ask her to leave, she was not paying any money. I forgot exactly what happened, but I said, that's it. Jim asked her for me because I had a hard time with this because of the whole situation.
All right, so it got difficult.
It got very difficult. She came to me. Jim had gone to her work one day and said, you need to leave. And she came home that Saturday from work and said, you know, well, she didn't listen to anything he said. She just thought he was the biggest jerk in the world. So she came to me and she says, I never talked to her. She asked me, oh, do I need to leave? I said, yes. She said, why? I said, because you've been here for nearly a year. You have accomplished nothing. So I just said, it's just not working. It's just not doing any good. I think you could stay here for another 5 years. And it would still be the same. You would still be right where you are. Not a dime in your pocket, nothing. And no job. So enough is enough. That's it. I said my children are leaving a long Labor Day weekend with their father. I didn't want them there when she was moving because I knew she would cause a scene. So I said that I would give her that 4-day weekend with my car to remove herself and her belongings. Well, that Saturday, she came back to me crying, saying, I need help. I know I need help. I've needed help for a long time, and that's what I spent all week doing. I wasn't at a job interview the other day. I was at the emergency room at the hospital because I know I need help, and can't you just let me have the time to get help, Sherry? And so I said, fine. And then I talked to Jim, and I said, well, my mother's not moving out this weekend.
Ultimately, she moved out when?
The following week, even.
Okay.
She even had more time, and the day that she moved out, it was because we got legal papers in the mail. We received notices in the mail that she was taking us to court. Said, forget it. Forget it. Why are you doing this?
Why was she taking you to court?
It was a charge.
Threat to commit a crime. The threat was taking legal action to have her evicted from the
If
apartment.
that was necessary, because she said, I'm not leaving. I don't care what you say. He said, if I have to take you to
filed
court,
a
I will.
complaint of threat against you, sir,
Yes, ma'am.
and then you told her you managed to find your way to the courthouse. Now you can find yourself a new apartment.
That is correct.
Well, he came home from work, and I actually, over the weekend, I said, my mother talked to me. I'm going to let her stay because ultimately, for me, I have been dealing with this sort of thing for my children are petrified of her. Nobody will do it.
Okay, all right, stop.
I know you want a
Ultimately,
cathartic
if my
event.
mother can be normal one day, that's all I've wanted half my life. And if we have to bite our tongues and deal with it a little more, for her to get
May never happen.
I stand there, I can't even
May never happen.
believe it.
All right, Miss
I don't
Rapator,
think so.
listen to me. You left your daughter's house.
Oh, could I?
Just a minute. Your claim is that she either kept or destroyed some of your property.
Yes.
Before we get to your claim, I want to know why you filed a complaint against your daughter's boyfriend.
Mr. Little, Sherry, like I said, Sherry doesn't talk to me and hasn't talked to me for quite a while.
Just tell me what caused you to file the complaint against him.
He was threatening me.
What did he say?
He just kept threatening me to not touch anything, get out of the house. We don't want you here. Leave this house. Don't eat. Don't watch TV. Don't do anything. Get out. Get out. Get out. So to me, that was threatening because of circumstances.
Because of circumstances. Well, it's not legally
threatening. But then I
threatening.
accused.
It's not legally threatening.
No, it wasn't legally threatening.
So then what did you go to the courts for?
It would have become threatening, Judge Judy, at a point.
No. You
Yes,
don't go
it
to the
would have.
court. Listen.
He was
You
being-
don't go to a court if you think it might become, in some later date, threatening.
And Judge,
What?
I've already been in front of a judge 4 different times for this very same issue.
What issue?
Her belongings.
Counterclaim.
Her counterclaim?
Yes.
And what happened with those cases?
Well, I first received a call from the clerk
Just a
asking me.
minute. Do you have...
Yeah,
I
we
have
have
an order?
legal documents.
We have
I wanna see
supporting
the order.
papers of all of this.
Can I see it, please?
And
Have you at any time ordered to return any of her property?
Yes, and I did.
Just a minute.
And
Have
she
you
did
been to
not
court, Ms. Rapator,
take a thing.
on the same issue as your counterclaim, the property?
Yes.
Then you had your day in court. I don't deal with that.
Your Honor, the judge wouldn't hear it. Sherry said that everything was her belongings, and he wouldn't hear it.
It wasn't supposed to be a housing court issue, and they told her that. But because it was presented in front of the housing court judge, he dealt with it.
And what was the order? Do you have the order?
To return her belongings
Can
to
I
her,
see it,
or I would be thrown in jail in 7 days. My issue is that it isn't all hers. I'm not giving her my belongings.
I can understand why no judge is going to give this.
I pointed out that a lot of it was
A
petty.
bread box, house plants.
Those were returned to me.
Good.
I have the items that weren't returned.
She states that there's a 6-foot buffet that was hers, and it was not hers. It was never hers. And I have a statement from my landlord, who is an antique collector, stating
Just
that...
1 second.
for the
Just 1
10
second. Is the main thing you want this antique buffet?
No, Judy.
Well, what do you want?
I want to be able to get my belongings and go on with my life.
Listen to me.
I've worked
I'm asking
for 20 years for all of this.
Ms. Rapator.
I fought everything.
Clay, listen to me very carefully. You had access to the house, and some of the stuff you removed, and some of the stuff she sent
I
over.
didn't.
I'm speaking. Some of the stuff, according to your papers and hers, she sent over to your other daughter-in-laws. I'm going to give you an opportunity to present to me a receipt for this buffet.
It was from my mother-in-law, Judge Judy. She gave me the buffet and a hutch to match.
I don't know that.
No, and the landlord doesn't know that either.
Listen to me, Ms. Rapator. The burden is on you to prove to me that anything on your list is your property. And the way to do that is with receipts.
Judge Judy, she kept all of my legal papers and all my legal documents. She kept all my phone numbers, address books, and everything. I have no proof of anything because Sherry has.
If you have no proof, then I can't help you. Do you have Ms. Norris, any documents in your house, I'm not talking about receipts or papers, but any documents in your house that your mother left there that you did not bring over to your sister-in-law's house?
Yes, I will give those back to her. Once all this court stuff is done,
No,
I will
want to
give them back.
Listen to me. They're her documents. Anything that is her document is to be turned over to her within 5 days. Now, is there anything else? She said there was a computer. Did you return that
Yes.
to her? Yes. The computer was returned to you.
No hard drives or a power cord.
All right, good. That takes care of your counterclaim. Within 5 days, all of her papers, documents,
I have
etc.,
pictures
returned
of the items
being
that are
returned
on
to
that
her.
list.
Put it down.
Judge Judy?
This
This
is
is
my
my
Woonsocket
Woonsocket
Put it down.
apartment, Judge Judy. The apartment that she was evicted from in Woonsocket. That landlord kept most of her belongings.
No, he didn't,
Well, that may
Terry.
be the picture.
Those belongings come to me as soon as I have a place to bring them to. And I can get my
Ms. Norris,
landlord to
listen
bow
to
to
me
that.
very carefully. Just taking care of the counterclaim.
Okay, but
I want you to listen. Ms. Rapider, I honestly believe that you probably need some professional help. You are a grown woman, you are a mature woman, and clearly your life has been a series of ups and downs. She's leaving. Your mother is leaving. She probably could use a little bit of professional help. In any event, she was here. She subjected herself to the jurisdiction of the court. Your mother acknowledges, based upon her own figures, that she owes you at least $1,050. I don't believe she paid you
No, she did not.
$1,150, but you don't have records. She doesn't have records. So I'm awarding you on your claim $1,050 in the background. As far as her counterclaim is concerned, it is absolutely impossible to determine who owns 3 baskets. So just make sure she gets all of her documents back, and that will be done within 5 days. That's all.
19-year-old student Nikishna Myron for medical bills due to an assault.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please.
Judge, case number 305 on the calendar in the matter of Bianchi versus Myron. Parties been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Ms. Bianchi, the defendant is a former boyfriend of yours who you claim assaulted you, causing you to injure yourself in your college dormitory.
Correct.
When did this happen?
It was on May 23rd.
Tell me about the incident that caused this injury.
Well, what led up to it, it was really, our relationship was volatile for the past few months, issues with drugs and trying to get off of them. There was a lot of tension, and he was angry with me. I was angry with him. I was pushed down some stairs and hurt.
No. Don't go there yet.
Okay.
He came over to your dorm,
He lived in my dorm. We lived in the same one.
and you're sitting where, in a living room area?
Yes. We were watching a TV show.
Was there anybody else there?
Yes, there was. There was probably 5 people.
And what happened? You're watching television, another 5 people are there.
We had gotten in a little squabble about something and arguing back and forth.
What had you gotten into a squabble about?
I honestly don't remember. It was always something, though. Something.
So you were talking during the television program.
Mhm.
Anybody tell you to be quiet?
No.
Okay. What happened next?
We were both kind of really angry with each other. And then just some like pushing and shoving.
What do you mean pushing and shoving?
What?
Shh. What do you mean pushing and shoving?
Back and forth.
Who started pushing?
It was both at the same time.
So you were pushing each other on the shoulders?
Kind of like back and forth. And then
How did that happen? What do you mean back and forth? Explain that to me.
we were angry with each other, and he had ice also. He was throwing it at me. And after we were done pushing each other, we got up. And then that's when everything started leading to this.
Well, so after you were pushing each other on the couch, then you both got up at the same time?
Yes.
And what happened when you got up?
What happened when we had gotten up was, since we were hitting each other, he wanted to hold me down. He held me down onto the floor. I couldn't move.
Yes.
We got back up. I went after him. Going after him, I still needed to speak with him.
What do you mean you went after him?
Walked after him.
So he went to walk away.
Yes.
He went to leave.
Mhm.
And you went after him.
Yeah,
So his
to
back
speak
is
with him
towards you.
about yes.
So his back is towards you. And what happened at that point?
He turned around, and I got pushed across the room and into the sunken den. There's 2 stairs, and heard a snap.
And that's when you hurt your leg.
Yes.
And you were on crutches for a while.
Yes.
You lost your job.
Mhm.
And you had expenses,
Yes.
right? And you want him to pay you $5,000. Okay. Now let me hear your version of these events.
We were sitting down at, as she said, things were we did argue a lot. That was the extent of it, verbal arguments. And we're sitting down watching a TV show, watching Dawson's Creek season finale. I could give a crap about Dawson's Creek. I had...
Excuse me.
Thank you. I had a 10-page paper due the next day.
I'm not interested in
Oh,
your paper.
I'm sorry, I'm procrastinating, so I got up, and I said, I'm going to go write my paper. And she said, yep. Excuse my language, but out of nowhere. And I was like, what? And as soon as I turned around, I said, what? She picked up a Starbucks mug and threw it straight at my genitalia. And she had a pretty good aim, because I lifted my knee like this, and it hit me right in the shin. And getting hit in the shin hurts really bad. It left a knot, like about that big, on my shin, about that much, an inch raised off my shin, bleeding. I was like, ow! And then, sorry, I'm just trying to, it was crazy. So, I grabbed her by arms, and I set her down, I was really stern, and I set her down on the couch, right where she was sitting. Then she got up and threw it. I put her back on the couch. I started walking away, really mad. Started walking towards my dorm, right? She was right about my back being turned towards her. She came, the reason I looked back was because she was screaming. She was like, ah, coming after me, and all I seen was arms flailing like this, and I protected myself, and I blocked her arms, I grabbed her, I wrestled her onto the ground, and it wasn't that hard. I'm state champion wrestler, and it wasn't that hard, and so I took her down, held her there, give her time to think and maybe stop. No, as soon as I let her go, she jumped right back to her feet, came right at me again, scratched me. I held her again, put her down to the ground. Her hands got away. She hit me twice in the face, and we stood up. I had Courtney by the arms right here, holding her arms so she couldn't hit me anymore. I said, you know what? And I said, it's over. I'm done, because I just don't deal with the physical violence. It's not who I am. And she came at me with that, and I told her that's it. And that's when I
and you pushed her and she fell.
Yeah, she stumbled back. There's a step going into the den. She tripped. She fell on her butt. I can't see how she could have tore a ligament.
She tore a ligament in her leg.
Yeah, so it happened, but it was out of self-defense.
Miss Bianchi, who started the physical stuff, Miss Bianchi?
Who started the physical? It was on both of our parts.
Then you got the worst of the bargain.
But I don't consider the shoving and verbal need for me to be thrown back down some stairs.
Well, sometimes that happens. You said that you were in a physical fight with him. Somebody always is going to get the bad, worse part of the deal. Somebody's always going to end up the loser in a physical fight.
That's what I'm saying, though. It didn't get too physical until he actually had
That's
thrown
not
me.
true. There's no question in my mind that you slapped him, right?
After he had been holding me down, yes.
Well,
it wasn't on the couch that he had set me down.
Let me tell you something. He was holding you down for a reason. What do you think the reason was that he got you to the ground and he was holding you down?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think he was holding you down?
Because I was yelling at him close face to face.
No. But you just told me you were fighting with each other. Physically.
Pushing, shoving.
Well, that's what he did. That's what he did. You pushed him, he pushed you, you pushed him, he pushed you, you fell. And you hurt yourself. What do you want from the courts?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Courtney Bianchi says ex-boyfriend Nikishna Myron injured her ankle during an assault. Nikishna says Courtney started it by throwing a coffee cup at him.
Go ahead.
I want him to be responsible for his actions because after this had happened, he told me I'll pay for whatever it cost, that it was his fault.
It wasn't his fault.
He admitted guilt to it and he offered to pay for the medical bills that were
Did you offer to pay for the medical bills?
I offered to help. I tried to be a good human being. And we were broken up. I didn't want nothing to do with her, but I knew medical bills were expensive. I said, I'll help.
You'll help pay the medical bills.
And then I told
then
her,
you agreed to pay the medical
when
bills.
I could.
He said he would pay for all of
And she
them.
said, well, and I stopped talking to her over the summer, and she's all, well, when am I going to get the money? I said, well, I got to deal rent first. I got to survive.
Just a second. So you agreed to pay for, according to you, some of the medical bills.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. That was very generous of you. But if you agreed to pay for it, that's an agreement that you had with her. So you have to pay for some of her medical bills. He doesn't pay for anything else, madam. You want him to pay $5,000. How much were your medical bills?
$15.98 for the emergency room, $70 for x-rays,
And how much of that was reimbursed by insurance?
None.
Why
It
not?
was because of the way that it happened. I had to be taken to an emergency room. I heard a snap, and I didn't want to wait around to be taken to one of the plant facilities.
So you don't have insurance that covers emergency room treatment?
I do have insurance as long as I go through my provider.
What kind of provider do you have?
Kaiser Permanente.
Did you submit the bill to Kaiser?
Yes. And they sent me back a bill saying this is how much you owe, that they didn't cover it.
Well, then let me see that. Let me see the letter from Kaiser.
That's what they sent me is the bill. They submitted it from the emergency room, which was Irvine Medical Center, to Kaiser, and Kaiser sent me the bill.
Okay.
For it.
All right, your total medical bills was $1,668. You don't get anything for pain and suffering. You don't get anything for lost wages. You don't get anything for your aggravation, and you get half your medical bills because you are at least half responsible for what happened that day. Just because you enter into an argument that escalates into physical violence with somebody, and even if the somebody happens to be a man, that doesn't mean that if you get the worst end of the deal or the short end of the stick, you get compensated. Quite
All
frankly,
I'm saying is, because of his past, he says he's not that kind of person. I have a lot of things right here that says that he is.
I'm not interested in a lot of things. You didn't tell me about throwing the Starbucks coffee cup at him. How come?
After he held me down?
How come you didn't tell me about throwing the Starbucks coffee cup at him?
I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm kind of nervous and I forgot about it.
Right.
Your Honor?
What?
I just don't feel I should pay her anything because I think she's exaggerating this whole thing. It's a big facade. She wasn't that hurt.
She went to the emergency room. I wouldn't ordinarily give her a thing, quite frankly, sir. Listen to me.
Okay.
I wouldn't give her a farthing. But you agreed to help her with her medical bills.
I understand.
And then, after you agreed to help her with her medical bills, you said, well, I got other bills to pay. I got rent that I got to deal with and other things. But you had agreed to do it. Right?
Yes.
So, if it wasn't for that agreement, I wouldn't give her anything. We understand each other?
I understand.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $834. That's all.
Why is that excused? You may step out.
I have papers right here for his DUI, shoplifting, purchasing airline tickets on stolen credit cards.
2 weeks later, she wasn't even hurt. She was jumping on the bed naked in the dorms in front of 1,000 people, enough to hit her head 3 times on the ceiling.
Stay away from drug addicts.
I wouldn't recommend going out with this woman. Stay away.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Pettigrew, Ray versus Alexander. Step forward, please.
Daycare provider Denise Ray and her children, 13-year-old Jaquan Pettigrew and 10-year-old Ebony Pettigrew, are suing former friend, 55-year-old school teacher William Alexander, for the return of 2 $1,000 savings bonds.
Miss Ray, according to your complaint, you've known the defendant for most of your life. Is that right?
Yeah.
He's been sort of a mentor to you and to your family. According to him, he even raised one of your children. Is that right?
No, not necessarily.
Well, what do you mean not necessarily? You had 3 children?
Yes, I did.
An older boy.
Yeah.
Did the oldest boy live with you continuously until he reached the age of 18?
No.
Who did he live with?
The defendant.
Right. Well, that's what I said.
Okay.
According to you, there came a time several years ago when you came into some money as a result of the plane because of the earthquake in California. You had a couple of $1,000, and you wanted to put aside some of that money for your children.
Yeah.
So you asked the defendant to get savings bonds for your 3 children.
Yes.
How much money did you give him to get the savings bonds?
$1,500.
$1,500. So
Yes.
you wanted a $500 savings bond for each of your 3 children.
Yes.
Now, one of the children, the oldest child, whose name is
Edward.
Edward. Did Edward get his bond?
He's here, yes.
Edward?
Yeah.
Did you get your bond?
Yeah.
From Mr. Alexander.
Yeah.
That leaves 2 $500 bonds left.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
That Mr. Alexander is holding for your children. And you want
The bond's double value, Your Honor, to $1,000.
But when did you give him the money?
In 94.
Okay.
August 8th. Well, approximately August 8th.
Okay.
1994.
Where are the bonds, Mr. Alexander?
I have them here, and they were
May I
purchased.
see them, please?
Yes. Sir. Okay. And they were purchased August 11th, 1994.
3 days off.
Well, they are $1,000 bonds.
Yes.
In the names of the children or Mr. Alexander, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Tell me why you want these bonds now. Tell me why you want to hold them for your children.
Because I want no more dealings with Mr. William Alexander. Of course, I know some statements were made in his statement regarding my lifestyle at the time. I'm not in denial anymore. Yes, I had a substance abuse history. But the thing about it, what led up to my substance abuse history was kept hidden in the dark for years.
Was that his fear? And was that your fear? Is that why you gave him the money to buy the bonds for the children rather than buying them yourself?
No, at the time that we were to purchase the bonds, I didn't have Edward's social security number. The day that we were at the bank purchasing the bonds, I filled out all the original paperwork with my name as payee for these children until they turned 18 for these bonds. Mr. Alexander asked me to let him hold the money and the paperwork until that following Monday. I says, okay, I'll trust you. Come that following week, when I asked Mr. Alexander for the bonds or my money, he told me he wasn't giving them to me.
I assume that you let him hold these bonds all of these years because you trusted him.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You trusted him, and he certainly did everything that he could to live up to that trust because here are the bonds. He hasn't done anything with them. Here they are.
Okay, but Your Honor, it's more to the story than... I don't want no more dealings with Mr. Alexander. Mr. Alexander is...
I don't want any more dealings. Mr. Alexander, do you have a problem with her holding the bonds for the children?
No, I don't have a problem at all.
Fine. Good. Because she really can't cash them.
No.
Because they are for either of the children or you.
Exactly.
So if she went in to cash the bonds, she could not cash them. These bonds are going to have to sit there until the children reach their majority.
I gave the bonds to her last year when she asked. And she became angry because I wouldn't sign them over. I said, if you want the bonds, you may keep the bonds until the children are 18. It's their money.
Right.
No,
what?
No, he did not.
Okay, just so we don't have a problem anymore.
I want my bonds changed over to their godmother.
No. You can't have that. Period. I'm not doing that. You can hold your children's bonds because that's what you want to do. If you feel as if you have a safe place in your home or if you have a bank vault, you can take the bonds and put them there and wait for your children to reach their majority, and then you give them the bonds, and at that time they should be even worth more than $1,000. Exactly. Because it's a while. How old are you?
10.
And you? 13. Well, got a way to go. These are going to be worth a lot more than $1,000.
But I paid for those bonds.
So what? Well, what do you want me to do?
I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't want nothing.
You don't have anything to do with
but
it.
But his name is on them.
You're absolutely right, which means that you cannot cash them. The only thing that means is you cannot cash them. These are for the children. This is what you intended it for. You intended these bonds for the children.
But I didn't intend for his name to be on them, Your Honor.
Well, then don't look at them. Don't look at them. Put them away. And when your children reach the age of 18, you give each of your children a bond. One of the children should have about $2,000.
They don't need his assistance for anything, right?
No, to do these?
I just
Absolutely
don't want to make
not.
my children's life, period.
Listen to me. All this says is Ebony or William. Means either one of them can sign these bonds, but Ebony can't do it until she's 18.
Okay.
Yes.
And Juwan can't do it until he's 18. Other than that, these are your children's bonds. Perfect. We just resolved this case. Give her the bonds. Mr. Alexander, thank you very much.
Suing former customer Timmy DeRosa for failure to pay for her candy.
Order. All rise.
Your Honor, this is case number 190 on the calendar, the matter of Chef Tell versus DeRosa. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks have seats.
Don't bring out, don't touch anything. Mr. Sheftel, according to your complaint, you were in the business of making customized chocolates.
Yes, ma'am.
And the defendant had been a customer of yours for some time.
Yes.
There came a time when she ordered a customized item,
Correct.
which you claim you delivered to her, put on a credit card.
Correct.
She stopped payment on the credit card and returned the chocolate.
Yes.
You say there was nothing wrong with the product and you want her to pay for it.
Correct.
Mr. Rosa says the product was defective and delivered late, right?
Yes, my horse looked deformed.
Okay. How long had she been a customer of your business?
About 5 or 6 years.
With no problem.
Never had a problem.
What kind of customized chocolates had she ordered previously?
The coins, I brought these to show you. They're customized chocolate coins with an imprint with her company or horse's name on them.
Fine.
And she ordered by the thousands.
And what was this customized order that she made when she returned the order?
Okay, she had placed an order for thousands of chocolate coins. She came to pick them up on Valentine's Day, one of my busiest days of the year. While she was picking them up, she was on her way to a horse show. She asked if there was anything new that we're doing. You know, she's always interested in something different. And I showed her the photo chocolates that we do. That is an imprint of, you give us a photograph and we make it into the chocolate and the whole thing is edible. She was all excited. She happened to have with her a picture of her horse, which is on the back of a phone card that she gives out as a promotional item. She gave it to me.
Can I see it?
I went into the back and I said, if you want, I'll make one up real quick for you. I can do that. So I went into the back and I made one very quick for her, just to give her an idea. This is the exact sample that I made for her. Let me see.
No, I ate the sample. I have an eating disorder. I ate the sample.
Listen, Mr. Rosa, don't speak until I speak to you.
Sorry.
Don't look back there. Look here. Don't forget. Don't speak. Okay, so this, you say, is the sample you made for her.
Yes, here, this is the finished product that we actually shipped out, several hundred of these.
Okay.
And you can take them out of the box if you'd like.
Just a minute. I don't want to take them out of the box. Okay. Okay. How many of these did she order?
200.
And what was the price?
The total came to $562.50.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. The chocolates are done individually handmade, so it's not like they're done through a machine and they're all identical. They're all done by hand. Okay. We take the picture that she gave us, which you have, and we make a master sheet of them.
Listen to me. I don't plan on going into the chocolate business.
Okay.
So I'm not interested on how you do it and whether it's a good product or not good product. Listen carefully. Bird, don't eat the chocolate. That's the evidence. When did you ship out this chocolate?
The chocolate was shipped out exactly 1 week later on the 20th, and it arrived in Arizona where she needed it the next day on the 21st at 9:25 and arrived in signed for at 11:19 in Scottsdale.
Okay, she got it.
She got it within a week.
Good.
I get a call from her. She said she didn't get it in time. I said, well, what do you mean you didn't get it in time? We shipped it out. Well, she said she needed it for a party. I said, well, I was never told that you needed it for a party. This was a last-minute order. We told you we'd get it there by the end of next week. So I knew nothing about the show. That was the first thing. Then she said, well, she didn't like the way they looked. I said, well, what's wrong with them? And I never really got a correct answer from her.
Okay, let me find out. There's no question that you received the goods on the 21st of February,
Yes.
and there's no question that you stopped payment on your credit card of $562.50.
Yes.
Okay, now explain to me why.
We went in, as you said, and I'll make this very brief. He showed us the chocolates. I gave him this card, which you have in your hand. I said, could I have a sample? The reason why I brought the eating disorder, he brought it, and I wanted to keep the sample, but we ate it on the way to Scottsdale because there's no way that chocolate can last around me. So I said to Frank, it was beautiful. I said, Frank, please make this up for the show. He sent them a day late, which I said, okay.
Just a minute. It was exactly a week later that you received them, which seems totally reasonable. So the time is not the issue.
The issue is we go through great lengths to put my horse in the best light possible. On this Visa receipt, we not only have the chocolates, but we have the gold coins. The only thing I took out of this was the chocolates, and if you look at them, it makes my horse look deformed.
Well, let me see them.
The very reason
Just a second.
to do this is to promote something and give this to people. And I don't know if he's changed the chocolates, kept the chocolates.
He didn't make
the exact
He didn't make new chocolates.
No,
Can
they
I
were-
see the
They
box,
were shipped
please?
back, and I want to point
Can
out
I
there were
see?
2 boxes that were shipped. She shipped back the second box with never even opened it when she got it. It was completely closed the way we sent it.
Let's take a look at some of these randomly, all right?
And he never said they were each one was separate and they would have a different look, or I wouldn't have done it.
Well, let me ask you this question. Could you take a look at this one and tell me what's wrong with it?
All right, well, what I wanted to start to say was the chocolate. Okay.
Just look.
Yes.
Tell me what's wrong with that.
You have a little bit on the picture there.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like a little bit of a discoloration. What I wanted to start to say was these chocolates were shipped from Candy Factory in North Hollywood to Arizona. They went from Arizona, I don't know how, to Solvang, and then shipped back from Solvang to the Candy Factory 3 weeks later. So they left. I packed them myself. They were great. I don't know what condition they were traveled by. This is perishable chocolate. Considering all the travel they
Well, then
had.
let me see. Is that the box that came back unopened?
Yes, I opened it before we came here to make sure.
May I see that
Yes.
box, please?
And it says on the side of the
Just
box.
just a second. I don't care where it went to, before or after, whatever else. This one she opened. This one,
And she
according
removed
to
10 of those bars also and sent it back.
This one, according to you, she did not open.
Correct.
And it came back to you unopened.
Correct.
So she just opened the first one, took a look at them, saw some that were defective.
That's what she says.
Well, I see that some that were defective. Here you say it may have happened later.
Correct.
So let's take a look randomly at some of these. Bird, take out some of these for me. Help me out here. I went to law school for this.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Chocolate maker Frank Sheftel says Timmy DeRosa refuses to pay for the custom-made chocolate she ordered. Timmy says the chocolates were deformed.
Okay. Could you tell me why this makes your horse look deformed?
Well, this particular one doesn't. This one is faded. Would you hand this to somebody if this was the Judge Judy thing, a gavel, and your whole gavel was halfway off?
I wouldn't give somebody a picture of myself that they could eat.
Well, you know what? That
And that's the point. These are edible. In 2 minutes, they're gone.
then don't have beautiful ones to show.
Are you talking to each other? Don't irritate me. This case is irritating me enough.
You cannot hand these out.
You're
There's some of
saying-
them where their eyes are where their eyes are bulgy. This is faded. You can't give this to somebody. These are multi-$1,000 horses. His stud fee's $3,000. We ship semen all over the country.
Could I please have that back? Listen, what
I
I
would
don't
not
understand,
hand
Miss,
any
I'm
of this to
speaking,
anybody.
Mr. Shiftel, something that I don't understand from a business perspective. Thank you. She's absolutely right that they're faded. But I'm speaking. They're all faded.
6 months old.
They're all faded. I have no idea what they looked like before, but certainly these are faded. I don't see that they're deformed, but this isn't an oil painting. This is done in chocolate. What I don't understand from a business perspective, Mr. Sheftel, is this was a customer of yours for 6 years.
Yes.
So if she says she's dissatisfied with this part of one order that she made, it seems to me good business practice would be to say, I'll take the chocolate, I'll either eat it, or I'll mix it up in a vat, or I'll make new chocolate out of it, or I'll do something with it, but I'm not going to lose a customer of 6 years over one order. So explain that to me, because I come from a retail family, and I don't understand
So do
that.
I. The Candy Factory's been in business for 23 years.
This is not an advertisement. for
No,
you,
I
sir.
don't understand that. But what I'm
Explain
trying
me.
to say is we don't put out an inferior product. What you're seeing here is chocolate that is now 7 months old, okay? And it fades. Chocolate, as you know, fades. These were in prime condition. Maybe there was something wrong with the shipping. Maybe they were left in the sun. I don't know. When they were shipped back to me, I opened them. I looked at them. There was nothing wrong with them.
Listen, what would be the reason for the defendant, she had been a good customer, to order them and then send them back to you? She clearly liked what you did. She came to your place. She ordered it off.
She's called me since then to place another order. She called me 2 months ago to place an order.
No, what I said is do them right, and I will buy them.
No, your husband called me and asked me if he could place an order, and I said, we still have
An
this
order for
outstanding.
what?
For more chocolates.
No.
Hey, for what kind of chocolate?
We didn't even get that far.
Okay, because you said you still have this outstanding issue.
And another point I'd like to make is, she says that I could give them out as samples. I've shown them to people, actually. I do show them. I have one in the case. I think there's nothing wrong with them.
They're faded. Shh. They're faded and not great. And your customer didn't like them. I believe that she acted in good faith by returning them almost immediately. She said, I don't like the way they look.
It wasn't immediately. She took 10 or 15 out of one of the boxes.
Just a minute. Did you take any out of the box?
When the boxes actually got there, everyone looked through them, and then they said, look, this one's deformed, this one's deformed, and the person that does the advertising.
Answer my question.
I don't know if there may be some out of the boxes that we handed
Well,
out.
then you pay for half. You can't use some. I don't care if you use 5 or 10 or 15 and say, I don't want the rest. The rest are no good.
No, that's not the point at all. That is not what happened at all.
That's exactly what happened.
No, it's not. Actually, I showed people how deformed they were.
And you didn't put them back. If you showed them how deformed they were and you didn't put all the items back because somebody took them, somebody ate them.
I told you then.
Don't talk to him.
No, I told
Talk
Frank
to me.
then. I told him then. I said, count them when you get them. I would not go to hell over $20.
So some people did take some.
No, not as a promotional item.
I don't care what they took them as.
No, I did not hand them out. They were at the barn. And I said, we cannot use them. Look at this. And everyone said, these look awful. We called Frank. I had no...
Madam, you're not answering my question. I don't care whether you used them as a promotional item or whether you gave them away as Christmas presents or you gave them to the Easter Bunny. Somebody ate them, and it wasn't him. Okay, as I said to you, and I'm not going to waste another second on this case. I think it's very bad business to sue a good customer. But I also think that you can't accept partial order, use some of the partial order, send the other one back without even having opened it, and say, they're probably all no good. So, listen to what I'm telling you. You see the box that you didn't open? That's this box, Your Honor? Quiet! I don't want to hear another thing. I got important business to take care of. There. You see that box? This came from here. This one is his order. That one is his sample. You see that box? Give it to her. She just bought half an order. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $280. That's all.
Why is that excused? You may step out.
He usually makes excellent products, and this time he didn't, and that's a shame.
It's a reflection of the horse. That's what the horse looks like. If it's deformed, it's because the horse is deformed.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lyons versus Mason. Step forward, please.
30-year-old child care provider Tara Lyons is suing her ex-boyfriend, 28-year-old lab technician James Mason, for unpaid rent and a car loan.
Ms. Lyons, according to your complaint, you met the defendant on the internet.
Yes.
A tool that I don't use very well. And then you met.
Yes.
When did you meet?
We met about August of 2000.
And then there came a time when you decided to live together and he moved in with you.
Yes. And it was kind of like iffy and off and on for about 2-3 weeks. And then he permanently stayed there. He moved all his stuff in.
When?
All about September of 2000. And then in October, he moved his stuff out of our room into a spare bedroom that I have.
And he was staying there as a tenant?
Yes, he was staying there as a tenant.
That must have been uncomfortable.
Not really. We still had conjugal visits.
That's more information than I need. Okay.
The arrangement was that when he moved out of our bedroom into the spare bedroom, I said, well, if we're going to live like roommates, then you need to pay rent. And so we agreed on $200, and he was going to start paying in November 1st.
Okay. When did he make his first month's rent payment?
He never did.
When did he move out?
He moved his body out on the 2nd. He moved the remainder.
2nd of what?
The 2nd of January. He removed the remainder of his stuff between the 18th and the 22nd
So
of
by
January.
January, he's gone. November, he's supposed to pay rent. You say he never paid rent, so he's got November and December rent.
And 2 days
Just
to January.
forget 2 days in January. Stop being silly. What else do you claim he owes you?
He owes me little odds and ends, like he needed $40 here and
I don't want to hear $40 here and $40 there.
Okay, well, I kept track of it.
Did he sign a note for the money?
No, I wrote it in front of him and he agreed to it.
You remember that?
No.
That she wrote a note in front of you and you agreed to it?
Right before I moved out.
Just to answer my question.
All right.
You don't remember her writing down little pieces of paper?
I remember her handing me a note.
And the note said that you owed her how much?
Like $600.
You have the note that you gave him?
I have the receipt after he owed me $500 and
I don't know.
Look, January 20th, 2001.
Yeah.
You gave her $100.
Uh-huh.
That leaves a balance. 2001. Did you give her any more money?
Yes.
Show me.
Right here.
I had a receipt for the first $100.
Okay.
He gave me
And
another
did he-
$100.
And he gave you another $100 on April 15th.
No, he did not.
Show me that you gave her another $100 on April 15th.
That's all I have. She would call me
and say, you know, it's almost payday. And she'd say, are you going to have some money for me? And I'd say, yeah, Tara, I'll have some money for you. And I'd come over and I'd drop off the money and give it to her.
No, he didn't. We would have emailed each other back and forth, which means I would have had records of it through email. Most of my stuff, my information is through the emails. That's how I know exactly how much he owes me. My last email from him was on May 9th. I wrote him, it says, I haven't heard from you. I'm still waiting for you to pay me on May 11th. On May 10th, he wrote me, no, I will not be stopping by. I cannot afford to pay you this month, maybe next month. May 16th, I wrote him back. I will write you in June. On June 1st, I wrote him, okay, what day of this month is good for you? This was at 9:29 p.m. On June 1st at 9:49 p.m., he wrote me back, none. Then on June 2nd, I had wrote him back, why is it taking you so long to pay me back? You owe me less than $420. On the 4th at 7:06, he wrote me, I will not be paying you. I cannot afford anymore. Sorry.
Well, he owes you right now $410.43.
Right. I don't owe her that money.
You had those communications with her?
Yeah, I sent her the emails, but I mean.
Mr. Mason, according to this piece of paper that you gave me, you owe her $310.
Yeah.
All right? Let's assume that I take your figure as accurate, which I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to do. Why didn't you pay her the $310?
Because I don't owe it to her.
Just a minute. You just handed me this piece of paper, sir.
Yeah.
According to this piece of paper, your evidence, you still owe her $310. Why didn't you give her the $310 that, according to your piece of paper, you still owe her?
I don't say that I owe her that of $300.
I do. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $410. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She wouldn't be suing me if I didn't break up.
43-year-old daycare provider Catherine Heath for the return of a camcorder and the cost to repair a wall. Catherine says the camcorder was purchased by her mother.
Order. All rise.
Yeah, this is case number 504 on the calendar, the matter of Wirtz versus Heath. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
All right. Mr. Wirtz, you and the defendant's daughter, I assume this young lady, have a child together.
Correct.
And you were living together. You're not married.
Correct.
It is your complaint that at the time you split up, the defendant, grandmother of your child, came into your home, took a camcorder that belonged to you, and also that she damaged the walls in your home by taking off some shelves from the wall. That's
Correct.
a complaint. Defendant says that A, the camcorder wasn't yours to begin with, and she's got a story about the shelves. Okay, how old's your baby?
Year-old.
And when did you separate from baby's mother?
End of July.
Of 2000?
Yes.
Is that when she moved out?
Yes.
Was this your apartment or home that you were living in?
It was our house, renting it.
Are you still living there?
No.
Let me hear about the camcorder first.
Okay. I purchased a Sears camcorder on a Sears card. I guess Michelle had some money that came in the mail through her grandmother. Michelle wasn't working time because she was, I believe 8 months pregnant. We spent that money on her part, paying her part of the bills, her half of the bills, her part of the rent, and her part of the utilities. I don't know what the circumstances were her mother paying for a camcorder, including she didn't have a job at the time.
Let's just a second. Don't get to her defense first, sir. You're talking
Sure.
about her defense.
Sure.
Let's talk about your claim that this was your camcorder that you purchased.
Sure.
When did you purchase it?
10/22/00, so October 22nd.
Okay, and how old was the baby at the time you purchased it?
He was not born yet. He was born February 7th.
You purchased it in October of 2000.
Yes.
You say your baby is a year old.
Sure. I guess he was born, wasn't he?
When was your baby born?
February 7th of 2000.
I guess he was. I guess he was 8 months old at the time.
Okay. What made you decide to purchase this camcorder? Look at me.
Sure. Just have a camcorder and build my credit. Because I had no credit at the time, and I did get a Sears card
When did you get the Sears card?
about a month before I bought the camcorder.
And you were working at the time?
Yes.
Was yours the only source of income in the house?
At that time, I believe so.
What do you mean at that time you believe so?
I believe so. I can't tell you for sure because she just had the baby and everything else, and she was going through her jobs and her problems.
Would you step up with your mother, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me your name.
Michelle Went.
Michelle, were you working in October of 2000?
Yes, ma'am.
Who was taking care of the baby when you worked?
My mother.
Okay. Now, Miss Heath says that your grandmother, the baby's great-grandmother, had sent a check for $400.
Yes, I have the check right here with
And
the
that-
card that she mailed after my son was born.
And I'd like to see it, please.
I signed the back of the check when I received the check in the mail. I deposited the money into his checking account. We had nothing doing. As you can see, he signed the back of it, and it went into his account for the purchase of the camcorder when we were ready after we had picked out the one we wanted. My grandma mailed me the check for the purpose of buying the camcorder because she lives out of state, so we could record.
Take pretty pictures with the video camera. I can't wait to see my great-grandson. So she sent this check for the purpose of buying a camcorder, right?
Suppose so.
Suppose so. And you took the check and deposited it in your checking account?
Sure.
Okay. So you went out and bought a camcorder. When you separated, you took the camcorder.
Yes, I put a deposit down on an apartment in Tesco where my mother lives. Under the circumstances, my son was abused, and under the circumstances, I was advised by my attorney to leave the household because of the suspects and whatnot, what was going on. So I packed my stuff that afternoon while he was at work in fear that I didn't want conflict when I moved out. He knew I was moving. I told him I had a desire to move. I got my belongings. The camcorder, I had took that long time ago. I put it over at my mother's house because I knew that when it came down to it, it was about material possessions to him. You know, it's not about that.
Okay.
You know, this is under the circumstances with the abuse of my son.
What kind of abuse?
He was spanked.
Open hand, diaper off hand,
Black
an
and
adult.
blue. Black and
A
blue.
doctor noticed it, and they.
That day, my son had a routine checkup, and I took him to the doctors, and I discovered this.
How old was he at the time?
4 months. 4 months old. Sorry.
And you moved out immediately?
Yes. Shortly thereafter, I took my son's belongings, and my clothes on my back, and I left.
Okay. These shelves, Mr. Wirtz, your complaint is not that you removed the shelves, which I understand that Miss Heath made for the baby, but that when she removed one of the shelves, it caused damage to the wall.
Correct.
And you want that damage paid for.
Correct.
So let me hear about the shelves.
Okay, I'm not disputing that I did do any damage. It did. The shelves that I made, I had put brackets on them, and I have pictures of that, where the brackets were a foot, exactly 12 inches apart, to hang on the wall. And I took the one off and gave it to my father. He loaded it in the truck. I went to go grab the other one, and that's the picture of the other one. And I pulled it off, and it did do some damage because there is a screw. If you noticed in the pictures, there's a drywall screw through the wood that was put into the wall. And I did not know this at the time. I didn't mean to do the damage.
Okay. Do you have an estimate to the damage to the wall?
Yes, I do have an estimate from a contractor in Salina.
Okay. And also, he did do the repairs.
Picture of the wall.
He fixed the wall himself.
And he got
How do you know that?
I know that because I went myself before this court day and talked to the landlord.
He told you, didn't he?
Plus, he told me. He told me he fixed the shelf because he couldn't move out without fixing it.
Did you fix the wall?
Yes, I did.
Did you fix it yourself?
Yes, I did. There's an estimate from a contractor. He'd charge me for doing it. I can't pay $540 to have a wall fixed.
Just a minute, so you fixed the wall yourself?
Yes, I did.
Well, how much did it cost you
I
to fix
never
the
said
wall?
I did not fix it myself. I did fix myself.
Just a second. So you fixed the wall?
Yes.
Get out of here.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Hey, father, and that's all. That's all we want for him.
It's a continual war between these two.
It is very important for him to be a father to the baby.
I've always said he was a good father.
And now the next case.
All parties on Meckler versus Virgin. Step forward, please.
51-year-old stockbroker Ronald Meckler is suing his ex-fiancée, 41-year-old accountant Catherine Virgin, for the cost of items purchased for their townhouse and the cost of an airline ticket.
Mr. Meckler, you and the defendant had sort of an on-again, off-again relationship, according to your complaint, for a couple of years.
Correct.
You resided in Houston, Texas.
Correct. Still do.
Ms. Virgin, you resided in Portland, Oregon.
Correct.
According to your complaint, there came a time when you decided to relocate to Houston. You thought that you would have a long-term relationship and you would look for a job there. It didn't work out.
Correct.
So you went back to Portland.
I had an opportunity to return to Portland, and I did so.
And at that time, Mr. Meckler pursued you.
Correct.
That be a fair statement?
Very correct.
And Ms. Virgin said, listen, I'm not coming back to Houston. You want to do the relocating this time, you come to Portland.
That's correct.
I mean, I'm reading between the lines, but that's pretty much what I'm getting. So you did. You came to Portland, Oregon, and proposed marriage.
Correct.
And you indicate in your answer that you were caught up in the moment and said yes.
Judge, the acceptance of the proposal was done as almost in a public spectacle on a Saturday night at a party with 30 or 40 people, with music stopped and us on a dance floor. It was given a great amount of thought to catch me off guard. I say off guard in a positive way.
I mean, she proposed to you?
No. The acceptance, because she always said that when the time is right, she would accept. So she did it, and so that everyone would know.
She accepted the proposal. And you decided to rent a home together. And you gave her certain trinkets. You gave her a diamond necklace or something.
Correct.
To solidify the moment. Well, you changed your mind.
I changed my mind.
Soon.
I woke up within a couple of days. And it took me about 2 weeks to get the courage up to say something to him, and I told him.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ronald Meckler claims ex-fiancée Catherine Virgin owes him for items he purchased for their townhome and for an airline ticket.
Miss Virgin, you returned his gifts to him?
I returned his gifts to him and gave him the opportunity to take any items that he had at the townhouse with him, or I would pack them and ship them to him. And his response was, I don't care about them. For all I care, throw them in the garbage. And so I eventually disposed of them.
Now he won.
No, Judge, there were furnishings for the townhouse that were purchased solely for that particular townhouse.